Mm.
Okay, I
So
want to let
that's
you
awesome.
know that I am about to put us live on my YouTube channel. So we'll be
Okay.
live. If you know anybody who can't get in Zoom, they can catch the meeting live uh, by putting, I think, my name in there. I'll put a link in here in the chat that
So when you
you can send to
Mhm.
anybody. Okay, so
Okay, I want
hold
to
on.
know that I am
Let me
about to
mute.
put us live on my YouTube channel.
Okay, so I just
Mhm.
muted it live. We're
Good.
showing you just like we are here, and I'm going to copy the video URL, and I'm putting it in the chat, in the text chat. Uh, uh, Bishop Samuel, you know where the chat bubble is there on the bottom? You just click on that, and you can get this link as well. Send it to all your neighbors and friends because we Mark
Okay.
will be live. We're live right now.
It's a good way to involve others if you show them the Zoom room in action with people talking. It's a good way to try and entice other people in.
Yeah, feel free to go to it and check it out, but mute the sound in the room so it won't be coming through your sound. So yeah, we are
Mm.
live. Okay, ain't that wonderful? We're going live around the world.
Yeah.
Wow. Now, can you play what's already been recorded on that, or can you for the testimonies?
Uh, I could, but it would kind of double the live thing.
Oh,
After,
yeah. But I mean, later on, you can put that on there.
yes, you can play it after it's over. You can play it, and and I'll put this on the website if everything turns out it's okay. You know, if there's any bad words or whatever on there.
Editing, and bleeps and
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
Yeah.
But the now also let me tell Bishop Samuel, about the room. We
Okay.
want to keep this open as long as we can and as often as we can, but we want each individual minister to have admin authority on our account, so you can personally open it up. You can learn how. You can have group meetings. We can have 100 people at a time in this room, but then we have unlimited breakout rooms that once you have the authority, you can open those up, and you can have training classes in here for the villages. Your cell phone will work fine, and there's all kind of security in here. We can keep unwanted people out as well, just to let you know.
Mm.
And so you're a part of the group, and I want you to just feel like that you are an integral part of the group, and and
Okay.
uh, and everything is open and free. Okay, everything that we do is free. It'll never cost you anything. You can use this room as if it is yours, right? We and somebody type in my website, miracleofwater.com, so he'll
Yeah,
have.
I'll do.
Yeah, okay, thank you. So Bishop Samuel will have a link to that, but I'm going to create you a web page and put your stuff on it, exactly what you want. Okay, as far as
Yeah.
I, you know, but every member of the church is going to have a spot there, and you can, you know, basically do what you want. How's that sound, brother? Brother Samuel?
Yeah, that's wonderful. But I don't know how a web page worked. I haven't got an experience on it because you say you put it on your website.
Yeah, you'll be under the members page, which I've just put on the chat. So once Bishop Max puts you on, you'll be on there.
Yeah, it'll take me
Okay.
about takes me about 10 or 15 minutes to create a page and put your name, your location. I've got a map that people can find you, but and you can put in text chat right now your whatever address, name, whatever your bishop, whatever, and
Yeah.
I'll put it at the top of the page, and then I'll put all of your videos that I can find on the page as well, Whenever you're going out in the community doing work, so what I would love for you to do, you're very active. I'd love for you to do a little recording on your phone live, you know, and record some of your protocols and how you're treating people and things like that, so that the world can see it, right? Okay. And we're gonna try to help you as much as we can, right? Wolf and Juna, we're gonna help everybody. We're gonna help everyone.
We're going to do our best, aren't we?
Yeah, we're gonna do our best.
As soon as we can figure out the whole Zoom setup, yeah.
That's exactly right. I'm going to make you an admin in the Zoom room, just like, you know, as if you owned it, you know. And the real,
Okay.
I'm gonna try to put them as a co-owner of the Zoom room. This Zoom room costs me $150 a year, and that's all. You know, and if I need more space and all these videos, they're on there, but as the group goes, we can increase and go to a business level, which you got a lot of bells and whistles.
Yeah.
But the website costing me about the same, about $150 a year. But you know, we're gonna help one another. I've already got a couple of offers this morning, you know, to help out on that. But I have I'm retired. I know I look really young, but I've been retired for like 10 years. But I'm not rich, but I've got an income to where, you know, I've got an easy life, okay? And I want to dedicate my life to helping people around the world to find MMS and chlorine dioxide and stay under the radar. That's why I named my website miracleofwater.com. It was available. And I said, what a great name for a website, and it's under the radar, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're not using the words, certain words.
Yeah.
We're not using those words.
Yeah, we're not. I mean, it's not. While we're in the Zoom room, it's fine. But on the website, I've got every video that I can possibly find on that website, all in one place. And I'm trying to categorize. I've got all the popular people. I mean, I'm going to put you on the popular people tab there, Bishop Samuel, because you're really getting out there doing this, right? You're right in there. You're going to be right in there under Jim Humble.
Okay.
Yeah. And if you can think of any of your friends similar that would be interested in the page in the Zoom, then invite them in.
Yeah, invite them to send the link.
Just like, because that's what I've done with Samula. I was thinking, I think Samula on Facebook, he would be really into this. So I sent you a message today. Samula says, have you heard about the Zoom room? So I sent you the link to come in. But
Right.
I think Bishop Max had already messaged you before.
Yeah, I've been messaging them. But anyway, if they like me, I check my emails 2 or 3 times a day. But anyway, this is fun for me to do, and it also encourages me to take my daily sacraments. You know, we encourage one another whenever we hear one another's live, real stories, right? You know, Bishop Samuel, that's my graduating picture behind me here. You know, and I know this guy in the black shirt, he was on here yesterday. You know, that he was in my class. I'm the ugly guy in the very back. Let me see that guy right there with the beard and the headband. That's me. That was in 2015 there. We're in the graduating class of 2015. Me and you graduated in the same year, right? And of course, there's the ugly Grenons right over there.
Yeah.
So anyway, right now today, I recognize several of these people that were in my class, and they're giving their testimonies. You know, they're all spread all over the internet. So that's what we want to do. The guy in the red shirt there beside Mark Grenon, he actually came to my house after the school, and he stayed 2 weeks with me. I have a motorhome in my barn. He stayed out there, and he was getting Alzheimer's, and he was trying to cure his Alzheimer's, and he was actually going. He stayed with me till the class. There was a class going on in Texas. He was going to take 2 classes back to back to try to remember it. So he was a good guy. I haven't seen him since then, but anyway, that's now you haven't heard
Jonathan in the picture too, on his knees.
Who?
Is that Jonathan on his knees on the picture? In the picture?
Yeah, that's his 2 sons, Jonathan and Jordan, I think.
Mm.
He actually, I think Luke was there as well, but he didn't get the picture. But anyway, you haven't heard my testimony, and now my testimony is so long that I can't stop whenever I start telling it. But I'll give you just a little taste of it. I was absolutely healthy except for sugar diabetes, and I had a type 2 diabetes. But I found MMS, and I call his name is Yahuwah. He is the creator of the world, right? And that's just my name. That's the name that I call him. But I was a Christian for 50 years. I was a Christian. Well, I got disgruntled with the church because I found some crooked board members and this, that, and the other. And so I finally I stopped going to church, and I prayed to God as I knew his name back then. I didn't know his real name. But anyway, I got out of the church and I prayed almost every day. I said, I'm not going back to church until you tell me what church to go to. I never went to church. 10 years later, that prayer went from every day to once a year. And my last prayer was I told God, I asked God, I said, tell me what to do. I said, I'm seeking you, and you please tell me what to do with my life. I said, this is probably going to be my last prayer to you, because I didn't have any faith. I was borderline atheist. Okay. After 10 years of not going to church, I was still a good person. Nothing changed. I didn't smoke. I didn't cuss. I didn't drink whiskey or all that. But anyway, 3 days later, I was sitting on my couch with my family, and nobody had went to church, but I had some visitors come up, and a person I really didn't know. Well, this person started telling one of my daughters her life story, and she had never seen her. And my daughter started crying, and when my daughter started crying, I just crumbled. And I started crying with her because I knew that it was a sign from God that he was showing me that he was real through this lady who turned out to be kind of a quack, but still telling me. But I had an awakening at my house, and it lasted for 8 days. It lasted for 8 days. And then a few months later, I was in my jacuzzi, and I was praying again to him. I had kind of figured out his name, but I started keeping the Sabbath. I was a Sabbath keeper at that time. About 7 months later, and I asked Yahuwah to show me the truth. I want to see the truth about everything. I want to know all the secrets and mysteries that you have in store for me in my lifetime. I want to obey you and do your will. I don't care what it is. I got out of the jacuzzi and you know what a jacuzzi is, right? They're Bishop Samuel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I don't know.
Hot tub. It whirls and swirls hot water. Anyway, and it was outdoors.
Yeah.
Anyway, I went directly to my computer, and I just started searching for the truth. And I think I just put a couple of search words in for the truth, and it took me to a website, and I there was Jim Humble and the Genesis 2 Church, and I clicked on it, and my life's been changed ever since then. And I have helped several people, and I've helped myself. I've had toothaches and stuff like that that have been cured by MMS. DMSO takes away the pain, and it's helped me, and I've been using it ever since. And that's basically my story. You know, it's went from there. Questions, anyone? Don't get me started on my religion, because I won't be able to quit.
So how long after that did you go to the seminar?
I went. That was in 2000. That was April the 3rd is whenever I prayed my last prayer to God. Well, on April the 6th, 3 days later, is when and it was in 2014, April the 3rd, 2014, I prayed my last prayer, and it was a feeble prayer, because remember, I didn't believe in God. I mean, it had been 10 years. And then 3 days later, on April the 6th, and it was on a Sunday afternoon, I had my awakening on my couch. And I'm telling you, I was a fanatic. I was a freak for 8 days. I could not talk about anything but you know, my experience. And my family, they talked and had meetings about committing me to the insane asylum. They was wanting me, and they actually considered that. And then after 8 days, I kind of calmed down a little bit, but I'll get excited.
It's all that when you awaken, your entire soul and being is filled with
emotions. And I mean, when somebody would come in the door, I was attacking them, you know, telling them about what was going on. And I said, one of my favorite sayings to say whenever I was in this state was, it's not about your will and what you want out of it. I said, it's about what God wants, not what you want. If you'll line up with what you want, that's what is important in your life. What you want is not important, but it's all about what God wants you to do. And I said, and that was a sermon for 8 months, or 8 days, and then for months later. I actually, 7 months after my awakening, I had to put a post on Facebook where I disowned Jesus Christ, because I had found out so much information about the secrets and mysteries in the Bible. I believe in the Messiah. I believe his name is Husha. And I won't go into that. I believe I just don't believe in Roman Christ. So anyway, I believe the
nice.
New. So anyway, that's my little story, and look, it's live. How about that?
You must have the family at home, do you, Samula?
Yeah.
I think we lost him, we lost his video.
I think his Wi-Fi is going in and out, I think.
Right. And so what time is it?
20 past.
20 past 9 or 10?
Well, for me, it's 3.
It's 9:30 here, so about 30 minutes or somewhere after Mark should be coming in. I haven't talked to him this morning.
Yeah. So are you able, hey Max, are you able to, do you have your, I have what I call spiritual teachers and spiritual guides and ancestors, along with the angels, to help me out and help me find the answers to the questions that I'm looking for, or give me the information. And I work a lot with the Earth's energy and the ley lines and the grid, the grids and the portals and vortexes, and so I work with a lot of groups throughout the world that work on that energy level from the Creator.
Right. Well, I don't have any that I know of. It's just kind of a feeling that I get, and that I just feel. Most everything that I do, I don't know why I do it. I just know that there's a purpose for it. You know, I have a thing in my life, and it is a spiritual thing, and I don't know how to handle it. For example, I have a hard time with what I've learned. I used to pray to Jesus all the time. I did everything in Jesus' name when I was a Christian for 50 years. And I can't do that anymore because I don't believe that there's, I only believe in one God, not three gods. And so the Trinity thing is not in my life anymore. And I don't know. I know that the Messiah is our King. He's our Passover lamb. He's my high priest. He was the actual bloodline last high priest in the nation of Israel. Okay. And so I don't know how to talk to him because I can't communicate with that part of my life like to, because I believe
talk about that.
Yeah, I believe that Messiah was 100% a human. He had nothing, he had no God seed or nothing like that in him. And so I believe in one God, okay, not two, and not three.
Yeah.
So that part of my life is kind of over because I'm actually scared to try to pray to it because that would be sacrilegious to me because I only believe in one God.
It's kind of like, the oneness, as we stand before the oneness of all that is.
Yeah. So but anyway, it's not a big problem because, I always include the Messiah in my prayers, but I tell Yahusha, that I love you. I don't know how to communicate with you. If you want to communicate or just show me the truth about it, and I'll do that.
Well, you may be able to tap into some spiritual guides to give you that cohesion between all that is and yourself. You may be able to use some of the angels or the spiritual guides or some of your ancestors to help give you that medium between the divine and yourself to make things a little more comfortable, a little,
I got you.
And give you some understanding between the parallels that are going on in this plane and the parallels are going on in other planes at the same time.
And I feel so in tune with Yahuwah, God, that everything that happens in my life since my awakening, like I said, has a purpose and a meaning. There's a purpose and a meaning of you being right here, Wolf, and everybody that I meet, they have an opportunity to tap into what Yahuwah has shown me, but I don't push it. I just kind of let it naturally come out.
And that happens, you draw people that for a good reason, and then some people for not so good a reason, it turns out to be, or they're drawn to you because of that.
Right.
That energy that you're giving off, right? So, and it has its good points, and it definitely has some downsides.
Yeah, right.
It's just how you deal with it.
Thinking this morning, and this is my brother Kent. So he was on last night. Now he's the one with lung nodules, innumerable lung nodules. He stayed at my house for 2 weeks, but now he's kind of. And I'm going to unmute him. He probably heard me say that.
Oh, by the way, that shoulder of mine there, at least I can move it around and everything after those treatments last night, and it's gone back into its socket. So
very good.
That salve worked really well. It took the pain and the heat right out of it, and then I just slept all night with the healing patch, and it was so bad I couldn't even. I had to lift my arm with my good arm, because it just wouldn't do anything.
You were suffering yesterday, yeah.
Oh, I was suffering, and after I put that bentonite and DMSO ClO2 paste on there and let it dry, it just took the heat and the pain right out of it.
Hey, Kent, can you hear us?
Yeah.
Yeah, feel free to talk. Mark's not in here yet, and we're just in here having a good time. I did make you a co-host just because I trust you and you're my brother. And you're a heavy MMS user, okay? Now, I was,
Okay.
I'm
Hey, I'll just...
yeah, go ahead, Kent. Say hello to everybody. Tell them who you are.
Hello, everyone. I was just getting connected in a little bit early. Max, I was getting connected in a little bit early, but I'll be back in about 10 minutes, okay? I just wanted to get connected in.
Okay, now do you
But I'll be back with y'all.
Do you plan on having your video on?
Yeah, if that's allowed, I will, but you know, I got to put on a shirt. And...
Yeah. Well, I want your video on because anybody that don't have a video on, if a bunch of people get in here, I'm just going to fix it so that we can hear you or whatever, but you won't be seen.
Okay.
Except for a number.
But let me go. I got to go get ready, and I'm just waking up, so to speak. So
yeah.
But I just wanted to get connected in.
Okay.
Make sure everything's looking good. But I'll be back in about 10 minutes. Okay.
Bye.
All right.
Yeah, he's my younger brother. He's the youngest one in the family. He's like 54 years old, something like that.
Is he the more handsome brother?
Yeah. He's the youngest and more handsome. But yeah, he's a good guy. He's not married. He has 6 years of college. I mean, he's got all kind of doors. He surveys and he just loves it.
I could not hear what you said, Max, because of the bongo drums.
Hey, that's fine. You know, the important thing is
I've got my keyboard open here.
I love that one.
Of the Carpenters. Sing us a Carpenters song.
Don't know any of theirs actually.
What?
Well, I know some of their songs, but I don't know
You
how
can't
to
come and sing them. I got you.
And you know any of the Maroon 5 or anything like that?
Never been a huge fan of theirs, to be honest.
Sia?
Who?
Sia?
I don't know who that is.
Oh. Okay.
Here, I can play my music. Listen to mine. Can y'all hear that guitar?
Yeah.
When I play that music, I can really talk. You know, I can tell my whole life story, and I can tell your story, and I can tell Wolf's story.
With the whole background music, yeah.
Yeah, I just love sitting here listening to music and making videos. I guess you can tell that. You know, I'm not a professional, that's for sure. I wouldn't be here probably doing it if it was my profession. But I was thinking this morning, whenever I got up, I started thinking how that there's some people somehow I attract them, and I was thinking about, you know, look at all the people that have volunteered. You guys are volunteering time to help out in this Zoom room. I think you see the vision. And Ty last night she volunteered to help me on the website. Now I'm going to find out if she's a troll or not. I don't think she is, but I've got her. She's building the website, redoing it, and she's going to make it wonderful. Is that amazing? I think that's Yahuwah working.
Yeah.
I think it's for, you know, it's good intentions. If we didn't think it was for a good cause, then we wouldn't spend our time doing it. So
you know what all of us have in common. This is my take on what.
Extremely handsome.
Well, but the main important thing is I believe, and the Messiah talks about this, Yahusha talks about this in his sermons. We have good hearts. Our heart is good. We don't have evil in us. How about that? Do you feel like that about yourself? You would never hurt a person on purpose for any reason. You're like my brothers, like my family. I feel a connection with y'all because you're volunteering your life to help others. And I think that most people in the chlorine dioxide and the health movement that we're in, I believe they're like that. And so I believe that Yahuwah is bringing us all together to bring health and peace to the world, and doing it for free, actually giving our own money. We're not doing this for money, or we're doing it out of love for everyone. And we don't even hurt animals. We want to help animals to have healthy lives, right? And
I even surprised myself. Was it last night or the night before? But there was a mosquito in the room.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Normally I'll splatter a mosquito, but actually I was so kind
right to mosquito heaven.
Opened the window and actually let it out.
Well, that is really a good story. A lot of times whenever I'm walking on the sidewalk, instead of stepping on a roach or a being, or you'll see me flying. The only thing I try to kill is flies that's bothering me all the time. You see me with my fly swatter. But yeah, and I actually think about it. Now I have the power to crush this insect, or kick this animal, or to let it live a little bit longer, or maybe help push it out in the weeds so it can. Now if snakes, I kill snakes. A lot of people like snakes, but I had a brother killed by a snake. My older brother in 1958. I had two brothers that they thought had got snake bit by a water moccasin. They were playing in a roadside ditch. It was a swimming hole that we used to play in as kids. But what ultimately happened is two of them got sent to the hospital, and only one of them died. And I figured out, I re-looked at the newspaper article, and there's been stories that one of them they didn't think got snake bit, and there was some barbed wire in the little ditch that they were, and I wasn't there, but they were playing in this water ditch. Went up under the road, and it had flowing water in it. It had just rained. But what happened, I believe, is that one of them got snake bit, and he's the one that lived, because when they got to the hospital, they both had the antivenom. Okay, but only one of them died, and the doctor that gave them the antivenom, he immediately went on vacation while they were recuperating. He put them in somebody else's hands. Yeah. And the one that didn't get snake bit, the antivenom killed him, because he did not get snake bit by the same snake. It wasn't even a snake. It was a prick on his ankle, a couple of pricks from a barbed wire strand that kind of looked like a snake bite, and so they took them both to the hospital.
Yeah, and he became infected from the water.
From the antivenom. It was like a snake biting him, and the one that actually got snake bit lived.
And what was that? Did you say it was antivenom?
Yeah, at the hospital, they, whenever they take you to the hospital, they give you antivenom to cure you.
But they would need to know which species of snake, wouldn't they?
They did. Water moccasins were popular back in our neighborhood, and everybody knew it was. They saw it. There were several people in there with them, and the snake actually climbed out swam in the water and bit him while he was in the water. Hello, Bishop Samuel.
Yes, I'm back.
It's good to have you back, Mon.
Yeah. Yeah, I had some. We stay with some children here around, and
Right.
some of them, yeah, some of them have been at the gardens and they had come back home and I wanted to talk to them. They were around making noise.
Right.
Yeah, but now we can continue with the meeting.
Okay, so that's your desk in front of you. I thought that was a couch the way your picture looks. But it
No, this
yeah,
is a desk.
I got you.
Yeah.
Okay, come on, Bishop Wolf, and play us a tune. What do you call yourself now? It's a special name. You're a priest, you're a healer, you gave yourself, I heard you say your outfit or something. You've got a special.
Oh, I'm a metaphysical, ordained metaphysical minister, or
Didn't
a metaphysical psychologist.
didn't you use the word shaman the other day?
Yeah, shaman, Vitki, one that's a priest but wise in runes.
Okay.
You know, whatever you want to call it.
Now explain that strange looking round globe that's puffing smoke out of it to Bishop.
Oh, that's my little diffuser slash humidifier. It's in the shape of a moon and it's a little night light. You can adjust it.
Top of it. What's it puffing?
It's puffing MMS and DMSO. So CLO2 and DMSO.
Okay, now why do you do that? What is it doing for you?
Well, I want to have clean, pure air. You know, if I'm going to drink clean, pure water, I want to have some clean, pure air. I was inspired by Bishop Max there when he was doing his supercharged video there, supercharged thing.
There are billions and billions of chlorine dioxide floating all around in his room, and they're coated in water. He's breathing it in his lungs. He's getting it in that gray beard of his. His furniture, his carpet, his dog, his parrots, his birds, right?
And it makes your skin feel great.
Yep. And it's not wet at all, is it? It doesn't wet.
No,
right?
It's not. Yeah, you can put your hand right in it and you can feel the coolness of it, but it doesn't. There's no moisture, really, a lot of moisture there.
You know, whenever the COVID-19 walks into your room, it turns into the COVID 00.
Yeah, exactly. Anyways, it's a great idea. I mean, yeah, I use it. You know, I got my MMS and spray here, and I'm just gonna.
Yeah, I've got a charged one. It's a Vicks. I bought it at Walmart. It holds a gallon of water, and whenever and it's got a slow setting and a fast setting, and it's behind my green screen here, and I'll run that a lot of times, but within 15 minutes it just fogs the whole room up, and it's wonderful. I've got one in my bedroom, and my wife has one in her living room, and now all my children, they've got their houses because of the COVID-19, and they're starting to take MS, you know.
I was looking today on eBay for a diffuser humidifier, so I'm going to get one very soon.
Yeah, get one that puffs. Now they make them that you can't see the air coming out. It's just like clear. You can smell it a little bit, but I love to see that. You know, I love to see that fog in the room. I love watching those chlorine dioxide molecules floating around in my house. Right? Now, did you?
I also.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I also needed a diffuser, and in January I made an order. I wanted them from China because I just needed a diffuser and a circuit board. If I can try and make them here in a bottle, but since then the order has never arrived because of the logistics. They are not moving. But I actually needed it before the COVID, because I knew it would be helping. It would be helpful. But when they arrive, I will have to assemble and I will show it to you in the room and you see.
All right. That sounds good.
Yeah.
But now they also make portable battery operated little smaller humidifiers is what we call them around here. And I think that's the name on them. But you can put them in your car. You can take them around with you. So if you need, if you're fearful, you're going into a contaminated area like a hospital or somewhere, you can have that thing going on. And but I found out something about the face mask, Reverend Wolf.
Yeah.
You know.
I'm back.
You ever heard of this? It's a safety organization. I think somebody come in the room.
I did.
Okay. No. Okay. That's my brother Kent there. Hey Kent, meet Bishop Samula from Uganda in Africa.
I've seen him on a video before.
Yeah, well, I have too, but you need to brag videos. I've been bragging about him. That's my brother,
Hey,
blood brother.
Hey, hey Samuel. Hope
Now,
I'm pronouncing it right.
Put your video, Kent.
I'll turn my video on.
Yes.
Hold on.
Okay.
All right, it's on.
Yeah, they were.
I don't have a webcam.
Yeah, you're breaking up a little bit.
Hey, but the reason my voice is hoarse, you know how Jim Humble has that video that teaches you to breathe it in, but not too deep.
Yeah.
Well, I did that, but I think I breathed it in too deep. So it's releasing a bunch of mucus inside of me because I breathed it in too deep.
Yeah,
I don't feel bad, but that's the reason my voice is a little bit.
You know why it's releasing mucus? It's because you had some dirty stuff in your throat and in your lungs.
Yeah.
It don't.
But I breathed in too much.
Yeah, you breathed in too much. I taught you better than that when you were here.
I was just getting overzealous.
Okay, hello. I see Bishop Samuel. You had some company walk through the background, and they smiled at you.
Yeah.
One of your brothers.
See, I have some. No, I have some children, orphan children that I also stay with here.
Right.
Yeah, and also we are a big family here. I stay with a big family. I have two children.
Let them be
we
seen.
Have other 4 children who stay. Yeah.
Go ahead.
Can I call them and you see?
Good afternoon from Scotland, Kent.
Yeah.
Yeah, yourself. I forgot.
Nice to see you. I see, Kent, you got the looks in the family.
Yeah. Saying you're
I think you're confusing me with Max. That's Max you're looking at. I'm Kent. I'm Kent. That's Max.
Nice to meet you. I'm from the UK.
Yeah. And Juna from the United Kingdom and specifically Scotland. He's some of our kin folks, I believe. Kent's a family historian as well.
Genealogist.
So you're more the Irish side, aren't you?
Yeah. Well, we don't know for sure. I think Scotland was originally where they came from, and they migrated into Ireland somehow. But there's just more Ards in Ireland that we could find. So anyway, let me see what time it is. And now we're going to probably, it's going to be a free for all whenever Mark gets in here. If he gets in here, it's 9:49. So, and I think he's on the same time. I think he's on Central Standard Time. Now, Kent, this is also live on YouTube.
Is it?
Yep, it is.
Good.
Yeah, I got a link, and can you check your chat bubble and see if you've got the link for it? There's a link in there. I don't know if you can. No? Do you see
the actual name
I don't see any links.
Max?
Yeah?
Is actually, it says word name is Scottish Gaelic, meaning height or high.
Height for high.
Height or high is what your last name means in Gaelic.
Oh, in Gaelic.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, hey, that explains
Yeah.
because we're all hyperactive.
We're Highlanders.
Yeah.
We're Highlanders, Max.
Means height or high. Yeah.
Well, I like the where it means we're a king. It is a Hebrew word, by the way. Our last name is in the Bible. Jacob / Israel's youngest son was Benjamin, and Benjamin, from the tribe of Benjamin, his youngest son's name was Ard, A-R-D. That's our last name.
East Ayrshire. East Ayrshire.
East Ayrshire, yeah.
Yeah, Ayrshire.
That's about 2 hours drive from me.
Aird. Yeah, Aird. The area location of Aird. That's where where Max's ancestors came from.
Yeah, cool. Kent's our family historian, and I gave him a start in that. He wanted it, but
anyway, so.
Yeah, I give up on it though. I learned everything I needed to know.
Kent, you want to tell everybody your story about your lungs and things. Give us the short version.
The compressed version.
Yeah, he's got a lot of lag.
Well, I'm still in the process of it, but I spent a month or two. I spent at least 2 with Max.
Yeah, he spent a month or 2 with me at the house.
Innumerable nodules in my lungs. What caused them, I don't know. Not cancers, but no. At the end of like 6 months, I'm going to get an X-ray done.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's having trouble. Anyway.
Are you taking the, other than breathing, are you taking the oral protocols?
With Max, I was doing the MMS1 and MMS2 and the breathing technique. And also, I was breathing in the direct fumes, but I was also a little bit.
Yeah, it's really hard.
Yeah, he was.
And I was applying it to my skin.
In less than a month, he took 4,000 drops of DMSO and over 4,000 drops of MMS1, and he took over 40 full number 2 capsules of MMS2, and so he was pumping. We was pumping, and I've got records of all of that. I kept track on a spreadsheet of every drop he took, and then I had it calculated itself every day and so it's all documented, and also we have all of his x-rays and doctor reports, so
Wow. Yeah.
we got it all. So if and when it ever disappears, we're gonna have evidence and proof.
Yeah. Well, I need to get back on the program though. I've been slacking. I
know you have, because I haven't been pushing you. You know, that's the reason he came to my house. He
Well,
traveled.
that's why I came stay with you, because
Well, you know what? That is typical. That's the hardest thing for most people to do is to stay on the protocol. And you know, I used to be really
self-motivation.
yeah, I used to be really fastidious about trying to get people to stay on that. But you know what? As long as they get it into them every day, and I don't care if they go through a 1 liter, 2 liter bottle, as long as they get a little bit into them every day, either by using the tub or using the maintenance mode. As long as they do that, then I encourage them. Okay, great. You know, you didn't get your full dose in for the day, but you got some into you. Better than
Right.
nothing.
Yeah, even a little bit's better than
Yeah.
nothing.
So
Yeah. See my spray bottle, right?
Yeah.
And I'm doing it on purpose. It's cleaning the germs in my mouth. But a lot of times I'll clean my toilet out with this, and then I'll be squirted in my mouth at the same time.
I use this as my COVID. When I go to the stores, I take this with me in my little bag, and I use this in replace of all of that, you know, alcohol and all that other stuff they do. And I just carry this little bag around with me everywhere. It's got all my gear in it.
Well, you're ready if you get bitten. You can cure yourself, right? If you have a snake bite. And then if the FDA throws you on the ground and gives you a vaccination, you can get rid of that too, right?
Yep. Yeah. Oh yeah. Here's a little some advice. These bottles are great. You know, the little bottles for holding your MMS and HCl in it. But MMS, what it does is it'll see how wrinkled that is? That blew up like a big balloon from the gases created by the sodium chloride. So don't use the bottle with the rubber tops on them. It'll blow them up, and then they're pretty much useless. I did learn that actually. 3 types of bottles. I've just bought these ones. They're soft and squeezy. We'll see how they go.
That's right. And so
everybody, and these are the old kind, right?
Okay, Ken.
But if you keep your sodium,
we need to make some little.
If these bottles, if you have, I found if you have your sodium chloride in it for too long, they get brittle and crack.
Right.
So I'm trying to. They work okay for the HCl. So I'm trying these softer squeezy bottles now that I ordered. And they seem to be working okay for the MMS. And
now
the glass ones,
the bottles that the Grenons use, you know, what they ship their product in, I've had them for 6-7 years, and they still are really good bottles. They have.
I don't know where he wouldn't tell me where he got them from. Like, does he get them from like Richard's Packaging or Uline or?
If I don't know exactly where it gets them, but usplastics.com, if it's plastic, they've got it, and they have a lot of products.
Okay, usplastics.com.
Yeah, and
because I order mine from Uline, but they don't have what I'm looking for, the same kind of thing. Ones.
Look on the bottom of my bottle.
Yeah.
US Plastics.
Feel free to talk. I'm looking.
I have those bottles do get brittle. They get a little bit brittle after a couple of years.
Yeah, and that's another issue.
But that's plenty of, you know. So I guess the glass ones are the best, but like you're saying, it's got the rubber tops on them.
Yeah. If you're using the rubber, what do you call them?
Yeah, droppers.
Yeah, if you're using that, they'll blow up I opened up my box because I did up about 7 containers, you know, from a one standard mix, right? 720 milliliter bottles. And I opened up the box top and I noticed that, you know, what's supposed to be a little round, they're all look like a balloon. They were like this big around. And it was the sodium chloride making the rubber expand.
Well, I've got some information on where these came from, if y'all are interested. The bottom of this bottle that came from the church says Ontario, California, USA, and the company, I think, name is Plastirey. That's Plastirey, Plastirey, containers. So you can Google that, Plastirey containers.
Okay.
And so if somebody come in the room, so we need to let them in. Whoever. Oh, that's Ty. She's already coming in.
She's got powers.
She's connecting her audio. Don't be afraid to talk over Kent because he'll take over the thing. Kent, you need to get better.
Yeah, I noticed.
I don't have the.
It's really hard for me to hear him because it's almost like a robot.
Yeah,
I can't hear a thing either, really.
Right.
I think it's a bad Wi-Fi signal.
Yeah, we may just have to mute him and be done with it. What are you thinking, Bishop Samuel? Are you saying these crazy people, these MMS people are crazy, right?
Yes.
I'll do hands.
Oh yeah.
Hello, Ty. How are you doing?
And we use this. I use this roller a lot too. DMSO with DMSO in it.
Right.
That's what I need to find on eBay is one of those rollers, yeah.
Okay, I'm trying to unmute Ty.
Good morning.
Hello, Ty. Good morning.
Hi,
Any
Ty.
sign of, any sign of Mr. Mark?
Not yet. Not yet. Turn your volume up just a little bit, would you, Ty?
Your microphone.
So that's
Yeah,
speaker. Let me see if I can get.
Has everybody met Ty?
No.
Okay, Reverend Wolf, you haven't?
Nope, I have not.
Okay, well, introduce yourself to her, would you please? While she's thinking.
I'm Rev Wolf from Hantsport, Nova Scotia, Canada.
Hi. Nice to meet you.
Where are you from?
I'm in California.
You're in California. Awesome.
In California, right?
I used to live in San Pedro in my younger years.
So my microphone is up all the way. You're having trouble hearing me?
Well, we hear you fine now.
Okay.
Can't see you.
Anyway, Ty, I think I'll let everybody know that you're taking over the website.
Oh, taking over?
that's yeah. Or at least
Max just helping out with a few
right?
things.
Yeah, tell us about your computer experience and your Zoom room experience, so they'll know.
Oh, well, I don't have much Zoom room experience. I've just participated in just a few classes and meetings on Zoom, but I'm not a big Zoom user, no.
Yeah, same here. I had a couple of webinars on Zoom. So not a lot, but a few.
Hello,
More
Steve.
now.
Hello.
Good morning. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning. And we're kind of introducing ourselves. And Steve is now you're a reverend, right?
Yes.
Steve has volunteered to take an hour or two every now and then on a regular basis to help keep the room open. And so he's brand new to Zoom, and he's the one in the black in the picture behind me.
Oh,
He's second one in the front row from the left in the black shirt.
Yeah.
That is Reverend Steve Dante.
Pleased to meet
Good to
you,
meet
Steve.
you all.
Hi, Steve. I'm Sean. I'm from Scotland.
Hey, that's fantastic. Is that where you are right now?
Yes, right now, yeah.
Hey, terrific.
It's
What time is it there?
4:05 in the afternoon.
Okay, great. What's the weather like?
You know, it's dry, so that's a bonus in Scotland. So
we get an afternoon shower during the summer here in Florida.
you'll get the good weather in Florida.
Yeah, and I'm Wolf from Hantsport, Nova Scotia, Canada.
Did you get
I'm Kent from Austin, Texas.
Kent's my blood brother there, Steve.
Okay, fantastic.
Yeah, I'm from Austin, though.
I need to mention to you folks in advance that we have a fella coming over here within the next 10 or 15 minutes probably, who's going to look at our roof. It's that time when the roof has been around for 20 years and it's time to kind of get an estimate on the next one. So I may have to leave you when the doorbell rings.
Okay, well that's fine. I've got some advice though on a roof. I used just houses for state.
Okay.
But my advice to you on your roof, I don't know if your neighborhood will allow you to do it, but a metal roof has really been a lifesaver for us here at my house. But a lot of housing projects don't allow that.
Well, I'll have to check with our code here. We have a flat roof. I don't know if that makes a difference, but
It makes a difference. So you don't need a metal roof at all. You need that good. I think it's called mutant rubber roofing. It's good for that.
yeah, we're gonna get several estimates because these days my wife had one guy come over and they gave us an estimate and she went into cardiac arrest. So we're gonna look for a lower price eventually.
Okay. Well, all right. And now we've got another bishop in here from Uganda. Why don't you tell them about yourself there, Bishop Samula?
Okay, thank you very much. Let's see this person.
Are you using a phone, Bishop Samula?
Yeah, I'm using a phone.
Yeah, it's harder to use, isn't it, than it is using a computer.
So Bishop Max, is Ty's phone intentionally muted?
Yes. Well, she mutes herself in between when she's talking. Hey, Ty, are you listening? Introduce yourself as well, and then Bishop Samuel, I want you to tell your kind of church story. While we're waiting on Mark to get in here and introduce yourself. Go ahead, Ty. Maybe I'm gonna have to mute her.
Chief.
Okay, Ty, come on.
Hi. Hello.
Yeah, we can hear you now.
Hello. So, see, the new people are Bishop Samula and hi, Kent. I met you last night.
And
tell
Steve
everyone
just
that-
popped in here.
And yeah, Steve was on when I joined last night. So
Oh yeah.
yeah, I saw him briefly.
I have,
Yes.
Yeah, I have temporary Alzheimer's a lot. So go ahead, Bishop.
Hey, I know what will fix that, Max.
Yeah.
Yeah, some MMS.
But you know, a big cause of Alzheimer's, according to this a doctor in San Francisco who's been reversing cases of Alzheimer's, major cause, 70% of the cases he's worked on, black mold.
Black mold.
Mm-hmm.
Mold,
Yes.
yeah. And,
There you go.
and it's very common in homes, that even newer homes have mold problems.
Right. So we need humidifiers in our home that has chlorine dioxide in it, right?
There you
Yes,
go.
so that humidifier is going to be great for the mold. Yeah.
Yep. Okay, go ahead if you would, Bishop Samuel, and tell us your story again while we're waiting on Mark.
Okay, thank you, Bishop Max. I'm Bishop Samala. I'm from Uganda, and that's where I do all my MMS activities. I discovered MMS in 2013 after the malaria clinical trial that was done here with the Red Cross. After that, since then, I've been using MMS, and it has been growing until last year. We had developed our model that we use in churches. We visit churches, we train the church leaders to use MMS. We make them give us reports, weekly or monthly reports about how they are using the MMS. We keep supplying them. We had actually we had some good quantities of MMS that we had, but unfortunately some of it was confiscated by the police. But still, we are still going on doing our activities. Going back, as I told you, I got MMS in 2013. That's when I was introduced to it. I started using it on myself and on the patients that we had on our herbal clinic, because initially, before I came across MMS, I'm a herbalist and I still run a herbal clinic where always we operate and we give people MMS whenever they come at our clinic. Going back on our church services or church activities, they're the ones that actually grew very fast, because most people are in churches and most people would come at church to get our free MMS or our free medicine, our free supplement, however, because we normally call it a supplement. At times we call it, some people call it holy water. We don't have a specific name for it.
Did you? Oh, are you? Okay. Well, I'm gonna put you on speak. Excuse me, everybody. I got Mark Grenon on the phone. I'm gonna put him on my phone speaker. He's actually watching our live video. So go ahead. I'm gonna put. Yeah. Okay. Well, I'll do that, and but just. Yeah, okay. He's going to try to get on. He said he can be on in 2 minutes. Hey, Ajuna, can you do that for me? Send him an email with the information on it. You've got Mark's.
Yeah.
Okay.
I sent him on Facebook, yeah.
Send him an invite and help him log on. Okay. Okay. Okay, well, see if you can talk, because everybody's listening to you, but... Hold on just a minute. Hold on, Mark. Can you guys hear him? Am I wasting time?
You're wasting time.
The sound is very low. Cannot hear.
Hear you. So we'll just try to get.
Tell him I've sent a link to the web, so he can go and click on that link, see if he can log in.
What link?
To the Zoom. To the meeting.
Oh, you sent it to his email, right?
Well, to his Facebook message, yeah.
Okay. We'll keep trying, because he's tried to get in.
Yeah, he was watching the stream because I sent him the stream to the YouTube, and he's been watching it there.
Well, you're so smart. Thank you. How come you didn't think of that, Reverend Wolf? But anyway, that's great news. He is trying to get in here and he's watching the stream, so he'll be on the stream, right? So anyway, go ahead, Samuel and Bishop Samuel, and continue your story about your ministry and what you, and even tell us what you need or whatever, if you need some tools or whatever.
Okay, I told you we do distribute the sacraments throughout the churches. We train the church leaders so that after every church service, they have to start treating the sick. And we always go there, visit them, see what they are doing, because currently we had trained over 1,000 church leaders, around 2 from each church. And most of them, when we got the arrests and the harassment from the authorities, some of them got scared, they stopped using it, but those who were brave enough and had actually who know the benefits continued using it, and we still supply them. But as I told you, we no longer do it on a very large scale as we used to do. We want to keep it grassroots, but still people need to be helped.
Okay. Now, how many people do you, if you averaged how many people you service a week or a month, can you summarize that? Give us kind of a number of how many people that you help?
Yeah, personally, if I go on my own side, the people that I help personally per week, I help around 50 to 100 people in a week. But from other people from other churches, they'll tell you they also do a number of people, they help a number of people. At least we estimate everyone to be helping between 20 to 50. That's the record mark. We wanted them, we were at least requesting them. We need at least 20 to 50 testimonies per month so that we can keep supplying them more MMS. We never wanted them to give it and they just keep it in their houses. We needed it to be distributed to the people. Currently, if I'm to count, because I can't give the actual number, but I estimate that at least 50,000 people have so far got MMS from me.
Right. Well, that's great. And so anytime you have any needs for any special chemicals, supplies, just let it be known. And we don't know what's going to happen to the Grenons. And so we're going to be using the Zoom room and emails to keep everybody going, right?
Yeah.
All right. So come on, hurry up and get in here, Mark. We're waiting on you.
Well, he's seen the link that I sent him, so so hopefully he clicks on that. I mean, it's quite easy to log in once you find the link.
Yeah, you know? Well, maybe one of his sons can help him. You know, he's got all kind of technology. You know, all the Grenons. That's if all of them got in here. But anyway, he's trying his best to get in here, as you can see, and so anyway. So Steve, Reverend Steve, how about telling us your story? I know you're very proud to have been in the same graduating class as I did, right?
Well, you see, that must have been fate working, because when I got your email recently, it was kind of a surprise to me, but there you were, you know, indicating that after these few years, we did that class in Florida together, and now you're involved in promoting MMS by Zoom. So my wife and I have always had an interest in health, and especially alternative health, because the general public, as you know, 95% of them will go to doctors when they have to, and they take standard prescription medications that they're advised to take. And we all know that prescription medications do nothing but suppress symptoms. It's our bodies that heal us. And if we are able to take away toxins and build up the immune system, then our bodies can do the work of providing the healing that that nature allows it to do. So when I ran across this a number of years ago, I thought to myself, well, you know, here is something that is simple, inexpensive, and does this job of killing pathogens and getting toxins out of the body. What a wonderful thing this is. And so that's how I decided to get involved. And it surprises me that such a small percentage of our population takes it upon themselves to have the initiative to go out and learn how to take care of their own bodies and to help their families and friends. But, you know, those of us that are here today are kind of, you know, maybe a little bit ahead of the curve when it comes to that sort of thing. Hopefully the numbers will be larger and larger because we're all faced with the dilemma of learning how to kind of, you know, take good care of ourselves. Here's the fellow that I'm expecting. So I'm going to mute myself and then I will get back with you guys later.
Okay.
All right. I'm waiting on Mark to get set up, and now he's brand new to Zoom. And well, hey, there they are. I see you. I'm trying to, and there's, I guess that's your son with you. Go ahead and talk to us. This is Mark Grenon. He's the chief cook and bottle washer at the Genesis 2 Church.
You need to unmute, Mark. You need to unmute yourself.
I'm on unmute him.
Put his video up.
Hear me now? Hello.
Yeah, we hear you.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
There you go.
Yo, sit down. You gonna stay or go? Stay get another headset. Hang on.
Yeah. We can't see your head, man.
Hang on. We're gonna. What?
We want to see both of you.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah. Well, not as good. We could hear him real good. We could hear you real good when you had that headset on.
Okay. We just got to switch another headset so Joe can get on here. Hang on. Give us 2 seconds.
Yeah. Hey, you guys take your sweet time. Don't be nervous. You're among friends, and we want you to absolutely be yourself and take charge of the world like you normally do, okay? No, you're not bashful. And also, this live video and this room is being recorded, so don't be cussing and saying nasty stuff.
We don't say that anyways. The only word I use is the SHIT word. And I get, you know, that's just dung. I'll use the word dung, okay, instead. So, hey, this is, I'm hearing good now. Okay. You hear me now? Yeah. No, it doesn't work. Push that off. Okay, because we're using this.
Yeah, we're using this.
Okay, all right, so, yeah, we're here, and I'm writing right now the judge that is basically, I don't know if she's impartial or not. That's what I'm writing here. But Lord woke me up last night and said, write her, because they're not getting bail to my 2 sons based on the fact that we're a flight risk. Well, they're lying. And they turned it, let me tell you what they did. They make it go from a civil case to a criminal case. And that's how they got warrants for our arrest. And they get your criminal case, then they get you in jail. Civil case, they can't put you in jail. So now they're in jail, and I'm talking to them daily. They're calling me through their mother, and we're talking. And they said they talked to the lawyer and the judge, and, we can't accept anything unless it's written. I'm like, why am I talking to you then? Because the lawyers can write stuff and to present it. They're in jail. They took their computers. They busted into the safes, took everything out of the safes. Now we had a lot of money. I think it was like 15 grand, but we can't even pay bail if there was a bail. Okay.
Right.
So they get you in that position. But guess what? Last night, Jonathan called me and said, Dad, there's a revival going out here. All these people are wanting Bibles. They're telling the family why we're here. And the whole jail's in an uproar because of what's going on against us. And the Lord is doing some amazing stuff in that jail. Isn't that cool?
That's wonderful. Hey,
So-
it's so good to have both of you. And that's Jonathan beside you, right?
Joe.
Joseph. Hey, now Mark's all the time doing Mark's all the time doing all the talking. Okay, so we want to hear your story, a little bit of your
While you're talking to him, let me go get some juice.
Oh, okay, and go get some coffee too.
hair. Go ahead.
Can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
Yep. I got you good here in Canada.
How's it going?
Yeah. Hey, Joe, let everybody in the room introduce themselves to you so you know who they are, where they're from. If I had to, I even want Ty there to tell her story. Not your story, just introduce yourself to Joe, please. Start with Ajuna and go across. Okay. Tell him who you are.
Hi, Joe. Nice to see you. I'm Sean. I'm close to Edinburgh in Scotland. So good to see you.
Good to meet you, man.
Steve Dante, St. Petersburg, Florida.
All right.
Nice to meet you.
Rev Wolf Kilburn, Chapter 313, Hantsport, Nova Scotia, Canada.
God bless you, bro.
See you again.
Go ahead, Kent.
Hi, Joseph. My name's Kent. I'm Max's brother. I live in Austin, Texas.
Okay, cool, man. Glad you guys are all here.
Yeah, go ahead.
So you guys probably know me, Joseph. Anyways, basically what we're dealing with now is what Mark was saying. You know, that they unlawfully have thrown my brothers in prison because they say we're violating the TRO, which we never agreed to. We never agreed to stopping helping people. We went into a time of prayer. That's all we told them we were doing. So we did stop completely sending out our sacraments. What we did not do is we did not say we were going to stop receiving donations for the books. We did not say we were going to stop receiving donations for the membership. We did not say we were going to stop receiving donations for anything other than that, because that's what they were attacking us on. But I mean, we're here in Colombia. I'm helping so many people, and there's so many testimonies. I just got a testimony from a lady in Ecuador. She sent me a picture. Hey, Samuela, sent me a picture of her 2 bottles that she got from here, and she has a blood test before and after for COVID, completely negative. And I don't know if you guys have seen also what's going on. The 1/3 of the bishops, there's 30 of them in Ecuador, and 1/3 of them, but 10 of them wrote the president, the health minister, and they're trying to get the health minister of the country fired for not approving something that has been proven to cure and to restore the health of thousands of people that have been using it. And then another thing just came out. This is all in Spanish. That's what I'm telling you guys, because I'm dealing with all the Spanish stuff. There's 12 countries here. Well, 11 countries here in Latin America that are using chlorine dioxide, and there's 1,000+ doctors. That is a group of them that are using it and all discussing all the things that are going on. I'm not in the group because I'm not a doctor like them, but there's also one of the countries that are using it in Europe is Spain, they said. So we got 12 countries around the world using chlorine dioxide, proven. Czech Republic also. Well, it's all over the world, but these countries they're coming out on the news. They're coming out against the health minister as being corrupt. They're coming out against the government. They did a news segment on us 2 days ago the same thing that they're doing in Florida, saying that they arrested for criminal charges the bishops of a church for distributing, all that crap that they're always talking about. But I mean, we have hundreds of testimonies here in Colombia alone, and people have been receiving it since we got here to Colombia, since before then.
Well, they started back in April, a study, and halfway through, they had 20 people healed. Halfway through, the government stepped in, threw the doctor out of the hospital.
Yeah.
He came to one of our seminars,
Yeah.
threw him out and stopped it. It was even mentioned in the National Institute of Health in America. It was mentioned.
Still there. I just saw it.
Yeah, it's there, but they didn't say they did anything.
No,
It
they
just
didn't
stopped.
finish the test. It's still there.
Genesis Foundation, he called it, because he's a member of our church, and they stopped him. So there's a lot of corrupt things going on, but let me tell you the good news. The good news is we've got a couple lawyers that we're going to be talking to Monday, and maybe Judicial Watch, I think it's called, might get involved, and some other people. So pray for that. Pray that we can get that to happen.
Right.
Because Monday, we're supposed to meet with the lawyers. The judge, not the lawyers. We don't care about meeting with them. They're just going to be there. We're going to meet with those, with the judge, and ask them to change it back to civil, bail out my kids because they lied to the judge saying we did things we didn't do to get them to no bail. And I'm going to be coming from Colombia next week, Wednesday. How can they say I'm a flight risk if I'm coming from Colombia?
Yeah, but that's the tactic that they're using, right? So
Right.
I've been through the court systems, and they will use that tactic, and it takes you so long to fight it.
But listen, the thing is, we've never been in the court system. All of us have a complete clear record. So bail is based upon if you're flight risk or you're a really bad criminal. They're letting murderers out, but they got my two sons that don't even have a record. All they do is help people.
Ticket guy.
Yeah, not even a speeding ticket. And so this is all going to go. If it doesn't help right now, when the lawyers step in, they're going to be able to abuse this against the judge from not being impartial. Okay.
Right.
And she's not an impartial judge. She's just doing what they tell her to do, and what they tell her to do. So let's see what happens there. But Mike Adams, he's really stepped up to the plate, man. I tell you, he's really been good. They took all our money, so they're going to try to raise money to get some lawyers. And if it's a criminal case, the lawyers cost a lot more, right?
Right.
So. We're trying to get it free pro bono, but Mike said, and a couple other people said, get a lawyer and let's see if we can raise the money for you. We'll try to help you. Okay. So that's a good thing. Exactly. And the idea that, we get these lawyers coming in, and then we're the experts on this, not the lawyers. Okay. Right. So the lawyer said, my son just told me a few minutes ago, Dad, the lawyers were lying, saying MMS, chlorine dioxide, is not approved anywhere. It's poison. Judge, you need to shut it down. Don't let them out. They're going to poison more people. And my son steps up. Wait a minute. That's not true. No, you can't say it. You got to put it in writing. So they won't accept it. Well, I'm putting it in writing right now. It's in Walmart. It's in Cole. All the things they use it for, EPA and FDA approved. So if that bail is not giving us bail based on that lie, then she has obligated to be impartial to let them out, okay? Because we proved that that's a lie. So you guys got to pray for that.
There's even patents on it that you've just found recently.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, antiviral blood deactivation in the blood bags before they put the blood in, and also it's not toxic.
It's so cool.
And it's used on our food and our meats and our vegetables and in our hospitals, and it's there.
I wrote that to them from the very beginning, from the first FDA warning. I went point by point, right? The judge didn't get it because it wasn't filed. Well, now get this. They said, okay, because you guys are out of the country, we will accept emails as filing. So now, what's good for the goose is good for the gander. It's a two-way street. So what we're going to do, I'm going to file this with her, and I'm praying God just shows her all this stuff and say, I gotta let them out because they're proving that they're
It's no
saying
longer a
falsehoods.
criminal matter.
Right. Now, well, that's what we're praying. They'll switch it back. But even if they don't, to get the boys out, we can use this later against them, okay? And, because if they switch from criminal back to civil, then that means that the very raid, by making it criminal, that's what justified the raid, had to be reversed, and they'd have to put everything back. So I don't know if that's going to happen right now. You know what I'm saying? But if I can get the boys out and one out in there, but we're in the States, we can do a lot. We can do a lot because we get some very powerful people starting to contact us that want to step up to the plate and help us financially or legally.
Well, that's what we're doing. That's what we're doing, Bishop Mark. That's what we're doing here with this Zoom room, and Bishop Max and all the others on here. We're trying to come together as a group of people with the same cause.
Yeah. Andreas Kalker wrote me yesterday. He said, Mark, we're going to help you too. But I can't really use outside of America proof, even if it's a law in another country, I can't really use it. They won't accept it. We don't care what's going on in Uruguay. We don't care. So I'm going to get everything within the States. And some other doctors are trying to call us. And, they keep applying. What about Dr. Brunitsky down in Houston? He fought it, but he spent $50 million. Well, first of all, we're the first church ever to try to go against the sacrament, okay? So we're a unique case. We could blow this thing wide open and take down the FDA. And we're willing to go to jail for a little bit. Samula went to jail. What was it, 5 days?
It was 2 weeks, 14 days.
Wow. Sorry, I was lying. So, he went in there, and you see what happened to him. He's a fighter, and we pray for him. We have 300 orphans in India praying for us every day, okay? 300 orphans asking God to open the doors for us. God listens to orphans, So, a lot of stuff's happening. I'm getting thousands of people writing us saying, we're with you, we're praying for you all over the world. Mm-hmm. So we're going to win this. Oh, I don't know if you guys know this. About 3 weeks ago, a guy from the intelligence agency in America said God woke him up and said, write Mark and tell him what you know. So he wrote me and said, Mark, let me tell you this. Everybody is watching you. We're watching you, and you're going to win. You're going to win. Okay? Right. Just hang on. Amen. You might have to suffer a little bit, but you're going to win. If we have to go to jail a week, 2 weeks, a month, hopefully not. But if we do, and after that, the FDA is brought down, the corrupt DOJ is brought down, this judge loses her license or thrown in jail. Wow.
Yeah, because what they're trying to do is they're trying to completely stop everything that the church is doing. They said they want us to shut down every single website that we have. They didn't say no books, but they took the books, so they're saying that with what they did. But basically, they're just telling us everything that is Genesis 2 Church, everything that is our sacrament has to be completely removed from the internet. So every single testimony that we've put up there, that's what they're saying that we have to do in these restraining orders and these TROs and stuff.
We've never accepted any restraining order.
We haven't accepted any of that.
We never said, okay, we'll abide. Never. Nothing written. Never. Not even we voluntarily, under duress, said we are going into a time of prayer. And I'm writing this right now. Judge, a time of prayer can be 5 minutes. Could be an hour. Well, for us, it was 6 weeks. And then we said, no, we're going to keep that site locked, but we're going to gift people. Gift it. So now we're not going to obey them. You can have a book about pornography, pedophilia. You can have one about making atomic bombs. That's okay, but you can't have one about self-care?
Exactly.
This is crazy.
It's such a total invasion of your rights and freedoms.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
It's
in
like
your case, it's your amendment, the First Amendment for the Constitution.
I was on a European channel last night, Age of Truth, and I just kept putting this up. In fact, if they ask doctor, I had one guy say, just stand there and whatever they do, don't sit down, just stand there and just keep quoting the First Amendment, the first two parts. He said after a while, they'll just throw it out. I don't know if they will because they're so evil, but I'm going to quote this over and over again. Congress can make no law. And never mind that code from the FDA, you can't make a law stopping the free exercise of our church. This is going to go all the way to Supreme Court. We might not win in the lower, because they're just so evil. But we'll get a lot of information, ammunition to take with us to the Supreme Court. I had a lawyer they're trying to contact right now that beat the FDA 4 times, beat them bad. And another lawyer told me yesterday, Mark, they're beat all the time, but they never let it get out. Mm-hmm. So just be hot. Don't be sad. Just keep going, man. You're going to win.
It's like there's no such thing as bad publicity. And if this thing blows up more than it probably should, then if more people know about it, then it can only be a good thing.
Yeah. Amen.
Yeah. That's why we can't close down anything. We just have to keep pushing all the information out there. And the more they attack, the harder we have to attack.
Freedom of speech also. Yeah. Not just this, the freedom of speech, right?
Oh, yeah.
They're trying to stifle what we say about MMS, how to make it. They don't want anybody to know how to make it, get it, do anything. Well, it's not going to work. All my boys are standing up saying, we're not going to bow down to this idol. And I just told the judge in this letter, the guys that set up Daniel, threw him in the lion's den, after they were let out, all their families were thrown in and their kids and everything. And the lions ripped them apart. And I'm putting this in the letter. What are you threatening me? One newspaper said, you're threatening the judge. No, I'm just quoting scripture. I guess the
shoe fits, right?
I guess God's threatening them, So we're not discouraged at all. We get a little sad that this is all going on, but big deal. A little sadness, but now we're pumped up. I love this chat room. I love what you guys are doing. The only thing I told Max yesterday, talk about the things that work and don't mix any of our protocols with anything. Oh, this works really good. Might be great. Don't do it during the day. If you're going to take anything, do it at night. I had a person did MMS in Denmark for a month, lung cancer. No results. And I'm saying, what are you doing? Well, nothing. I did everything you said. And I mix it with my alkaline water and I take it. I go, well, there you go right there. You're neutralizing with your stupid alkaline water that Dr. Young is pushing. Let me tell you this. Let me prove it to you. Stop that and keep going for a week. It's the seventh day, she coughed up 2 tumors. Okay. And she's now shopping, going out every day, feeling like a young kid. She couldn't go out for a year. Stay away from the alkaline water. Okay. If you're healthy, it's not even good because you don't want to alkaline your stomach acid. You're breaking down your protection. Mm-hmm. Okay. Mm-hmm. It's not set up that way. So I gave all my books yesterday to the world because I figured, well, if we leave, who cares if and they're probably going to steal all the money in our bank accounts anyways. So I'm not going to give them any more, right? And what I'm going to do, give it to the world. Let the world start seeing so everybody can make it. Everybody can see what we've done through chapters 2 and volume 2 and 3. And remember this too. This is a spiritual warfare. In everything we sent out to everybody around the world had a Bible track in it, okay? And God is upset that his word's not getting out more than the MMS not getting out. Because we got people that picked up the ball and just started, we couldn't send it, they sent it. There you go, buddy. Yep. Chick tracks, okay? And God's upset. You get God upset. It's a fearful thing to fall in the hand of a living God.
That's right.
Knowing the terror of God, Lord, we persuade men. And when I get in front of that judge, the first thing I'm going to say is, I'm praying for you, Judge. We care about you.
Yeah.
We only came to present ourselves in defense of this. We came to tell you the gospel. And the preaching of the cross is to them that perish foolishness. But to us that are saved, it is the power of God unto salvation. Hear that, lawyers. Hear that. You better repent now, because the judge of the universe is the next judge you're going to stand before.
Mm-hmm.
And it might be sooner than we think.
Well, Mark, I just want to tell you how much of a hero that you and Joseph and your family are to everyone in this room, and millions of us around the world. We appreciate what y'all are doing. Jim Humble, you know, he's just so awesome. You know, I hear his voice when I was in class, but each one of the guys here I'm sure they would love to how we feel about you and your family and what you're doing and what you're going through. It's so important to all of us. Just in this group, there's probably 100 or more people and family members of just these 7 or 8 people in the room that are being affected by both of you and your family.
Let me say this. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. I don't need, I don't care about accolades and praises, but the Bible says, let another man's praise you and not your own voice, right? So thank you so much. God, yeah. And I need your prayers more than anything. We might need your money too soon, but maybe not. We got some people that,
Now, Mark, how can, what kind of programs do you have going to where people can donate freely to your cause, to our cause? I know I still have this GoFundMe page, and I haven't stopped it, but if you have a contact or an email or a GoFundMe page through someone else, just let everybody know so we can,
right.
help.
Because we're not going to be putting out newsletters if we're incarcerated, okay? So we got a few sites that are going up. One's called freethegrenons.com. Keep yours open, because they might shut that down. Someone else has got another one open. You can't tie it to PayPal, like if you name the Grenons or G2 Church. They'll shut you down, before you're done writing it. They'll shut you down.
Well, that if my GoFundMe page is the name of it is Water to the World, and it has nothing G2 Church, but in the fine print, all that money is going to the G2 Church and you guys for your legal fund, and every penny to it. But
I appreciate it so much, and God's we're all a family, and we have to stick together. We might not agree on everything point to point, but what we're doing to the world. Did you see that epileptic kid that was healed on Brighteon we just put up?
I haven't.
Oh, it'll make you cry.
Well, it was Spanish. It was a testimony from a lady in Argentina. The kid, I mean, I'm pretty sure, not 100% sure, it was a vaccine damage, because the way it looks, the kid was fine. Then all of a sudden he had these seizures. And within a month of taking MMS, the kid's walking around, hugging his mom and telling hi to everybody. I mean, from completely crippled.
About 4 years.
He was probably about 4 or 5 years old.
Okay.
I mean, it's like this. You don't need to.
Would have been the last vaccination.
Yeah. You don't need to understand Spanish, bro. You don't have to understand Spanish to see the video and see the before and after. The kid, you're gonna cry when you see it. It's just.
I did. It was incredible.
Oh, it's so cool. I mean, and then Carrie's working hard. They're really attacking her. If you can see.
You can see the kid there. That was before. He's completely crippled. He couldn't even move, couldn't even walk, couldn't even talk.
And he's convulsing. Yeah, show him the end.
At the end.
I think you put that one on Telegram, didn't you?
It's on Brighteon on G2 Church. We put it up last night. Look at him now.
Wow.
1 month. See?
Oh, yeah. That's great.
Yeah.
Incredible, man.
That's why they hate us, bro, Max. That's why they hate us.
Hey, Joe, would you open up your chat bubble there on the bottom of your screen? And I just put a link to our GoFundMe account. And so ties that plus whatever,
Okay. I'll pass that around all the Spanish community. I have the Spanish newsletter list and everything also.
and I'm going to I've already made you a host of this show there, Mark. But also, I'm going to make both of you, and any of you want to, I'm going to put you on my Zoom account, so you'll be able to learn it and open it, and it'll be free to you. Okay.
Good.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you. You're doing a great job, Max. Max has been with us for a while. We stayed at his house on the way to a seminar, had a good time with him, and really good. He's a hero too. Well,
Yeah.
all you guys are heroes. Really, every one of you.
Yeah, we are. We are absolutely good-hearted people. Our hearts are all good. Every person that is in MMS movement, Maureen, they have good hearts, and they wouldn't hurt a flea.
Judy Mikovits yesterday wrote me from the Plandemic movie. They had 1 billion views, 1 billion views. And she said she's going to put out my thing about my book free, get it to people. And so that would be cool. Imagine if we could get those books to 1 billion people. Wow, that would be so cool. That's what we need. The Bible says that people fail for lack of knowledge, right?
Yeah.
That's what we need, the knowledge out there. Yeah. Samula is in Uganda, and they're torturing those people. Bill Gates Foundation, starving those people. We try to help them when we can, but now they get all our money and everything. But you know what? God's saying you're going to get all that back and more. Don't worry, it's coming. It's going to come full circle.
Just want to give you a little blurb from Daniel 2. Blessed be the name of God forever and ever, for wisdom and might are his, and he changes the times and the seasons. He removes kings and raises up kings. He gives wisdom to the wise and knowledge to that and those that have understanding. He reveals deep and secret things. He knows what is in the darkness, and light dwells within him.
Amen.
I thank you and praise you, O God of my fathers. You have given me wisdom and might.
Yeah,
and
that's so cool.
Have now made known to me or us what is needed. For you have made known to us the king's demand.
That's so cool.
Chapter 3.
That's so cool. I put that in last week's, and I'm writing a book right now, and this is another reason why they're trying to stop us, called The Government of God. And I'm about halfway through, and then all this started happening, and I'm like, Lord, this is another reason why we're being stopped. Because if this book gets out, it's about how God intended the world to be in the beginning and how it's going to be in the end. And then I start out by showing all the scientific reasons why the God is real, the Bible's true, and from even people that aren't even believers, and I'm right in the middle of it, showing how the fourth kingdom is Rome and how we're still under the Roman kingdom. That's the last kingdom before the Lord comes back. And we're trying to expose that, and we get raided.
The Roman Empire is the last one.
Yeah, things are happening, man. This is more spiritual than it is physical. It really is.
Yeah, I believe that. I believe absolutely that. We're in the right place at the right time, and we're all coming together, and it's just going to get bigger and bigger and bigger. And disease is going to be erased just because of this movement.
Right.
Yeah, yeah. There's no longer one little candle trying to light up the world. Everybody, each one of us is a candle. So, I mean, we're just illuminating everything. Yeah. That's what we're trying to do. The more people we have, the more light out there.
It's becoming a 10 million power candle power spotlight.
Let me take just a moment and give my website a plug, because it's brand new. The room is brand new, and we're making this available to the world. But my website is miracleofwater.com, and so far we're not selling anything. We're not asking for any donations. And I would like to introduce you to our my new webmaster who volunteered last night. Is Ty down there. This is a lady from California, and I don't know if you have your can say anything, Ty, but if I want to give you a chance to say who you are down there, and I appreciate what you're doing for this movement. Now she's been a MMS user since 2008, and
Wow.
so she's been using it. Are you there, Ty?
Oh, yes, I am. I am here. And yeah, I discovered Jim Humble in 2008 when I was dealing with some serious bacterial infections. And I actually discovered ozone first, and then I was looking for other oxidizers, and that's how I found chlorine dioxide.
That's so cool.
And it's I've been just really doing it on my own for years. I'm in a part of the country that is just not, in some ways they are, there it is in California, there is some of the old hippie culture left, which is, the little bit of self-care, but it only goes so far. And they're not open to chlorine dioxide. I have not succeeded in getting anyone I know in my immediate area.
Are you in the LA area?
No, I'm in San Francisco Bay Area.
Okay.
Yeah, so we're probably the most, I think we have the highest percentages in terms of voting Progressive Democrat. It's very, it's definitely, definitely has a political flavor to it here. And I'm also Progressive Democrat, but this issue is really important to me. I mean, I'm absolutely 100% committed to self-care. To me, MMS is far more than just an oxidizer or a group of oxidizers. It's a whole set of principles having to do with self-care, taking responsibility for your own health.
Right. Amen.
And it just, to me, it really makes me crazy sometimes that people are so resistant to that idea.
I see a name, Ty. Last night, it just made me think. Ty Bullinger's wife, Charlene, and her friend, both Christians, called me and said, listen, we're all praying for you. We're all behind you. And don't think you're alone in this. So that's a good thing. Judy Mikovich, Mike Adams. And, Mike was told by the FTC, I think it was, to shut down the G2 church. And he could have shut us down just to save him some grief, and anything from Judy Mikovich. That's the two reasons why Mike Adams is being hit. And he said, no, we're not going to do it.
Okay. But to let you know that we are trying to keep this room open 24/7. We were actually live 18 hours, I believe it was yesterday. So basically any time of you want to come in and see what's going on, just pop in. But we have a calendar on the website, and so I try to keep it updated. It's a Google calendar, and but I've got it embedded in the website, miracleofwater.com, and so you can see exactly who's going to be hosting at what time, and if it's not open, it'll be a blank.
So all over the world, how many nations right now represented?
Okay, in the Zoom room, we've got Scotland represented right here in the room. We have Florida represented in the room. We have Uganda represented in the room.
Colombia,
and also, but people that are already been here and are in the Zoom room. We have the Philippines. We've got let me see, it's Quentin.
Yeah, I know.
He gave me a tour of the place, and he's been in here almost every day. He kept the room open all night last night, along with Ajuna. Ajuna has what time is it over there in Ajuna where you're at?
So it's almost 5 o'clock, and I've now been on since maybe 9 hours.
Wow.
Yeah, and it's 1 o'clock here in Canada and Nova Scotia. And then we have Ontario from Bishop Hammer. He was in.
Right.
And we got Ritza. She's in, who happens to be just recovering from cancer and studying to be a health minister. I've been working with her a fair amount. She's in Quebec.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Also in Costa Rica, Skype calls with Bishop. Can't think of his name right now, but I was on Skype.
Abdul Bashir.
Yeah, Abdul.
Abdul Bashir. Yep.
And I'm trying to get him on Zoom. He hasn't been on Zoom yet, but I Skype with him. I've also been on Skype with Adam Abraham and got to know him really well, and so hopefully he'll come into Zoom as well. But I think that you see the potential for this around the world.
Right.
Time, but what's great about this room is that I have unlimited breakout rooms, and I've got a recording studio, audio and video set up room, so you can do interviews and testimonials right here, and it all records and goes to my account on Zoom.
Let me say this too. We got it on Dropbox, our presentation. We changed the seminar to basically still teaching protocols and things to basically follow this book, many parts of it. So I have PowerPoint presentations and stuff that we can make the Dropbox available so you can use that, because I want people teaching seminars around the world, which they are, and because it's visual, you remember stuff all better when it's visual too. You hear it, you speak it, you see it. There's 3 different ways that really embed it into your head.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well,
better mode of teaching for sure.
Let me interrupt y'all just a minute. I'm going to share my screen with you and show you the power of these rooms. And I've got 5 different computer monitors. Okay, so I'm sharing one of them, and you can see we can do PowerPoint presentations. We can play videos in these break rooms. We can hold classes. We can have all of the material, everything right here. And I'm going to stop sharing now.
I don't think we're seeing the right thing. We just saw the site for fun. We didn't see a.
Well, that's exactly what I was wanting to show you. I was wanting to show you that you can share whatever PowerPoint. You can share your screen with
I see. Okay.
Yeah, share screen. I see that. Okay.
And we can all, the qualified people can do official training right here in the room, and all of the Grenons, you're going to have access to these breakout rooms, and you can hold classes worldwide right here. It's already paid for.
Well, we definitely probably do that in the future.
Yeah.
We just had a testimony come in. Joe, tell them about the guy working with the Indians here. William.
Oh yeah, we got a guy. He basically just started using MMS, and then he's helping all the indigenous that come down from the mountain to come into the town. It's about an hour away from here. We went right before the pandemic started. We went there on the bikes, and we took him a bunch of MMS, DMSO activator. And anyway, so what he did was he's just been treating everybody, and these kids, that are chronically ill. They're within a day or two, they're getting up and they're going back. This guy had it's the dengue, the hemorrhagico. I don't know it in English. I know in Spanish, the one that makes you bleed. And he had that, and he took 8 doses. He took a protocol bottle for the day, and he went back. And these people, I'm talking, they live a 2-day walk away to these villages up in the mountains. And so he's treating everybody. He just ran out. He told me he's coming on Monday to get it because I can't get out there. We're on lockdown still here. Here they've moved the quarantine till the 1st of August now. So we're still in quarantine here in Colombia. So anyways, he's helping so many people with just a little bit of stuff that I've given him. And he even says it's amazing. The one guy, he had staph infection all over his body. I put that testimony up too a little while ago, and just taking it for 2 days, the swelling went down, all the inflammation went down, the infection went away, and he's doing great. The guy is doing incredible. What are you smiling about?
I just got a cool email. I'll tell you. Hang on. That's why I walked away for a second. Just came in this second. Look at this. This is the kind of encouragement God sends you, right? It says, okay, this is someone just wrote me, said, I've been talking to my friends at the Justice Department and really believe they're all believers and really believe there's going to be immense help. They're all believers and carry justice officials. Just letting you know, have a blessed day. So the Justice Department, people within it know what's going on. Let me move this back, I got to keep this in front of me because I'm waiting for some lawyers to contact me about helping. So let me keep this right in front of us. Let me keep this right in front of us.
Too many things here.
Yeah.
A messy desk is a working man.
Keep talking, Joe. I'm just reading what they just came.
Yeah. The testimonies that were coming in constantly. I mean, we don't have them on video because the guy doesn't even have a phone, that kind of stuff. But these testimonies, they're coming in from everywhere. They're coming in all the time. I mean, I've gotten in the past 2 weeks, maybe 5 or 10 different COVID testimonies. Some of them were positive. Some of them had blood tests. Some of them didn't. And I'm talking, this is all Spanish stuff. This is all Latin America. Maybe we will eventually do a Spanish Zoom and we'll be able to take care of all of Latin America because there are thousands and thousands of people. And like I said the other day, or like I said earlier, more than 1,000 doctors here in Latin America that are using chlorine dioxide. It's a group called AVEC Mexico, I think it is. And then they have different ones. And it's a worldwide Latin American, actually, organization of all different kinds of doctors that are using natural things. And they're all following Andreas Kalker with his chlorine dioxide because all we're using the same thing. We're all using chlorine dioxide just in different ways. And that's what a lot of people don't know. People are like, oh, well, CDS is better than this. They all have their place. So, but it's chlorine dioxide in the end, different ways of using it. And that's what we're getting to.
Did you see that? Did you see the broadcast we did with Andreas?
Yes.
Yeah. A few weeks ago,
Yeah. Great guy. He's fighting a different battle among the medical, but it's definitely, he's making a lot of progress. And I said, he wrote me yesterday. He just got to answer. He wrote me yesterday and said, well, we're coming to your rescue also. So we got to stick together. Even if we don't agree completely on some stupid little issues or something, we agree what we're doing. In fact, from the beginning, when Jim first came to us, I said, Jim, I don't really agree with you how we got here on this earth, okay? But I agree with you about MMS. And so based upon that, we can go anywhere together. And because, Jim says some things different than we do, but I'm talking spiritual things, but and they mock him because of it. And so we just got to stick together, man. There's I was going to say too few of us. There's more than what you think that are with us. Okay.
Yeah.
One little bit of scientific information that I found out from Andreas Kalker just the other day. Well, when we were doing the interviews, if you guys know, obviously red blood cells transport oxygen, right?
Right.
The reason why chlorine dioxide is so incredible is because the oxygen molecules attached to the chlorine molecule flow freely in the blood, and they are not attached to the red blood cells. Okay. So that means it's an express for oxygen to travel freely throughout the blood, not being attached. That's why it can diffuse through all the different sections of the body and through the veins and through the different areas because it's not attached to red blood cells. So where red blood cells can't go, oxygen gets there because we have oxygen in our blood and we have chlorine in our blood, and they diffuse constantly back and forth throughout the body.
Right.
Yeah.
Hey, I'd like to welcome Pat McNair to the room. He just popped in there. Would you like to say something, Pat?
Yeah, I'd like to welcome Pat. He's a friend of mine that actually introduced me to MMS back in 2014.
Wow.
Tell us about yourself, Pat, and how you're involved in MMS and where you live and all that kind of stuff.
Sure, no worries. Can you guys hear me okay?
Yep.
My sound's working right. Okay. I think it was about 2013, 14. I've had Mark on friends on Facebook for years. We haven't really even spoke. I just chat backwards and forwards once in a blue moon because I know he's really busy. Yeah, my wife got really sick. I'm an Aussie, as you can tell. Back in 2010, and we had experts all over in Australia and here in Canada. I live just down the road from Gary. Gary and I have been good friends for a long, long time.
Okay.
And anyway, I went searching on the internet, not being an expert at all in holistic stuff, but into alternative medicines and energy and all that sort of stuff. So I went searching 20 years ago or 15 years ago on that, and I found MMS, and I thought, well, you know, there's so many things out there that people talk about on the net back then and even now, and you've got to vet them. So I went, okay, I'm going to go buy some, because I looked at a lot of videos from Jim Humble when he got interviewed by a few people, and I decided to go guinea pig, and with the main thing of trying to help my wife get better. And we didn't know what it was. None of the experts knew what it was. And so that's where I started with it. And I read all that I could on it and started using it in the ways that the Genesis 2 Church showed, and some of my own way. And it worked. You know what I mean? And then we had people come to us with different things, and we tried different things. We were doing energy work and using MMS, and we had some really good success with cancers and stuff. That was probably 10 years ago. It was 2010, just after we come back from Australia. So, and I'm sold on it. And I followed the Genesis 2 Church right through since 2010.
Pat, can I inject for a second?
Sure.
All you're saying is anecdotal. This, you know, it doesn't matter. It's experience. Well, that's just as important as, you know, a clinical study. That is a clinical study.
That is a clinical study. Yeah.
That's right. And there's been plenty of them too. So, but yeah, that's fantastic. I brush my teeth in it. I drink it. I use it all day, every day for whatever.
I do the baths every night, man. My hair is crazy. I mean,
yeah, it's growing.
Oh wow!
I have to cut my nails.
How many of you guys notice that your nails grow a lot faster when you're taking MMS? That really
yeah. I've been doing. You're not supposed to do it during a protocol, but it's one of our sacraments, the moringa. I've been taking 3 capsules of moringa first thing in the morning for the past 2 months, and my energy levels are incredibly high. You can see my hair is growing. Also, my nails are growing like crazy. And then I started going ahead and adding. Well, it's another just multivitamin, maca. I don't know if you guys know what it is. It's from Peru, but I added that. But these vitamins that I'm taking also, the energy level is incredible.
Oh, your son.
And it's
He's
just
like taking
sacraments.
cocaine.
Yeah, you give those to the kids and they will not sleep. It's incredible. Even give them 1 capsule. But I mean,
it's like the calcium hypochlorite is awesome. You know, when you mix it up with the spray,
yeah.
or you take it every day, you get that little shot of energy, and you know, you just feel overall, you feel great.
And everyone's dose is different. I'm sure you know that. I don't do anything more than max a quarter of a capsule, because that's just my dose. That's just what I handle, and it makes me feel good.
Different folks.
Exactly. You all start the same, the minimum, and you go up to where you can.
Yeah,
that's it.
Why the protocol, it's important to follow the protocols.
Yeah.
Yes. But then you can, once after you've been on the protocol, you can adjust it to suit the individual.
Mm-hmm.
That's the great thing.
Customized dosing.
And you might be adjusting it throughout the day sometimes. Sometimes you only can do a half a day. If the person's really sick, at the half day point, they have to stop for the rest of the day, continue the next day, maybe at a little lower dose. And they have to adjust it according to how they feel, basically every hour. That's what you have to teach the person.
I agree with that. I'm always asking people, how do you feel? What do you got to be in really close contact with how they feel, because they're the ones that's going to tell you.
Yep.
And you're going to, I haven't got into the moringa, but I'm into so many areas. I've actually incorporated the sodium chloride into plasma, not blood plasma. I don't know if you guys, you probably maybe or may not be aware of Kesh with the Kesh Foundation.
He knows all about us.
Yeah,
Kesh knows. We had one of our bishops go and spend a day with him. And I think, where was it? Sweden or in Germany or England? I don't forget where he was.
Right.
But he knows all about us.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I actually incorporated the MMS into one of my into one of my reactors, and I was the first one to do it, probably 5 years ago. And as I was building the reactor for the CO2, I incorporated the salt from MMS into the reactor itself using sea salt, nanocoated copper and copper. And I also activated a very small vial and put it between the plates. So we're talking about fields, right? I make plasma patches. I don't know if you guys are into it or know about it, but these plasma patches, I've made power out of. I've made capacitors out of that actually produce the whole power. Patch. Yeah, that's one of mine.
Yeah.
And they work. They really. And
you got a bum shoulder and it takes the pain away. So.
Yeah. Energy.
Yeah.
Energy.
Yeah.
God,
everything has a charge. Everything has an electronic charge, and that's what we're dealing with. Because in the end, everything is energy.
That's
so,
right.
I mean, here in Colombia, it's hard. You can't get what's it called, hydrochloric acid, because it's illegal, and you have to do it. You can't get it without a permission because they use it in the process for making cocaine. So I'm making it myself. I have to make it myself because I can't get it. So I started investigating, looking how to make it, and I got it to where I make my own hydrochloric acid, anywhere from 4 to 6%, and it gives me the exact parts per million I need. And so you just have to basically figure out the best way to do basically anything. If you can't find it, you can make it. You can make these things. They're so simple, and you make them from salt. You make hypochlorous acid from salt, water, and electricity. You make sodium chloride from salt, from water, and electricity also. It's just a little different process. And you make the hypochlorous acid from sodium chloride, salt, and sodium bisulfate. Those two things create hydrogen chloride gas, and hydrogen chloride gas, G, is HClG. You add it to a water solution, it becomes hydrochloric acid aquatis. It's still HCl. So you just have to find the way to make it, and you can produce this stuff anywhere, and it's so cheap to make. If you're making it yourself, it's like the cheapest thing in the world. I mean, you can give it away, and it will never affect you ever. So, I mean, you just gotta, that's what we're using, the most simple things. And it's funny how everything revolves around salt. Like it says in the Bible, the salt of the earth. You know, the salts are what have the energy. They have what our body needs. Your body can't retain salt, and your body can't, what's it called? Your body can't sweat if you don't have salt. So you need salt in the exact amount.
Yeah.
Chlorine.
Yeah. I guess the Creator knew what he was doing when he created the earth and all of us. Right?
Yeah, man.
He's probably a little smarter than what we are.
Mark, into that.
Mark Grenon, hey, I've got to take a break for a moment.
He's at the beach.
Go take a dip.
Swimming?
Listen, to go take a break. Mark knows what I've got to go do. Okay. So I've got Ajuna as the host now. So he's the leader of the room. Okay, he has all power and all authority. I'll be back.
Except he's not over. He's under God, though, right?
In this room, on the chat, right? Yeah.
No pressure. I only discovered Zoom like 5 days ago, so no pressure. Yeah.
We just found out about Zoom a few months ago, I think.
No, Zoom, yeah.
Zoom.
I think last year we did videos with it.
It's a great platform. You can, have like hundreds of people all on the same.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Room or make
Cash has been using it for 3 or 4 years or 5 years. It's a very stable.
Yeah, but once we get involved in it, things crumble. We gotta pray. They've shut down so many things.
Can I step in here?
Sure.
There's a topic that I was hoping we all could discuss. And my feeling is, I know that we're all going to do what we can to help Mark and all the Grenons with their legal issues. Another way I think we can help them is to change public opinion. So, because if there are more people out there who are willing to talk about positively about chlorine dioxide and the MMS protocols, that will influence the judicial system. and the FDA and the regulatory bodies. That's how real change happens. It happens from just individuals. It happens as a groundswell. So I'm wondering if there are people who are willing to kind of to talk about, to strategize and find things that we can do to spread the word. One thought I had, for example, is to identify groups that might be particularly receptive to our message. And one group that I've been eyeing are the folks who are protesting against the quarantines. If they knew that these quarantines were unnecessary because of MMS, that would give them more ammunition. So I think that they'd be very.
Let me just cut in on you for a second. You're exactly right. Keep that thought. But let me just say this. We just got something come in that they're traveling to Washington tomorrow to meet with the Justice Department, the Christians that work there that want to talk to him about helping us. And his brother is going to the President of Colombia tomorrow here. And he says there are not extradition requests at the U.S. Embassy at the present time for us. So I'm just updating you what I'm getting in.
So if that was a lie, that they said there is an
scare you.
Yeah, exactly. Again, they're lying.
Here, yeah.
No, sorry, Ty.
Go ahead.
Good. You're right. I thought about survivalist groups. You know, those guys, man, they need chlorine dioxide. Even Coleman sends this thing to purify your water. Survivalist groups, patriots, you put in your survival bag too. You know, you never need a medicine. This is why we're being hit so hard, because 95% of the pharmaceuticals will be obsolete or more if this goes global, which it is. Yeah. I'm sorry, Ty. Keep going. Sorry cutting you off.
I don't. I'm not really sure. Let's see. I think I lost my train of thought, but that's fine. I'm glad that you told us about that. Well, what do you folks think? I mean, I don't really have. I'm not well positioned to do this because I'm surrounded by people who are embracing the quarantine, wholeheartedly. But I do hear about protests in Sacramento. And I've often thought if I could get there, I don't have the means to get there easily right now, but if I could get there, that what I would do is just pass out leaflets with information about chlorine dioxide, instructions where they can get more information, maybe links to some good videos, and hoping that that enough people would check it out and start to spread the word. So we need to basically what I'm saying is we need to, I'd like to work with some people to identify those groups, those individuals who might be receptive, and just find ways to get the word to them. And also strategize what the best way to approach them is. I've been trying and I'm not having much success, but I'm sure that there are ways to do it. I'm sure that then we have enough smart people that we can figure out some good strategies.
Yeah, you're right about the people who are question the whole COVID thing. They're probably a good group, as you say, because they're already thinking that the mainstream media is what they are, which we know what they are. So this kind of group is probably a good idea, is what you're saying. Yeah, they'll be more receptive to that idea.
And Trump is mentioning, if you're noticing, therapies, the cure. He can say it, and we say cure, and we get attacked. Well, they'll attack the president too. They attacked him.
Well, and that's another thing. The way to get to Trump is to get to the news organizations that he watches. We know he watches Fox, and there's another one, I forget the name of it, I've heard he watches. If you can get to them.
That's a good thing. That's a good thing also, because I don't think Fox has done anything on the attacks that they've done against us.
Yeah,
right?
in Florida they did the other day.
Was that Fox?
Yeah.
Okay.
And
so there's one.
Was it negative, or was it?
Oh yeah.
More...
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. It's gonna be negative.
In fact, while they were talking, the main Fox channel here would what's the guy? He was a girl. She's on, not in the morning, but anyways, she's like, oh, that's horrible. These people are talking about, they should be thrown in jail. I'm like, she doesn't even know what she's talking about.
I know.
I'm like,
They don't
why
do their
are they-
homework.
Yeah.
They don't do that.
No.
Oh, and so something else that I would like to suggest is when Trump made that statement about disinfectant, it most people just are really ignorant. They don't know what about oxidation. They don't know what an oxidizer is. They don't know that oxidizers disinfect. If Trump had said used the word oxidizer instead of disinfectant, I think he
Yeah.
might have got a better result, because everyone was thinking,
Mhm.
oh, disinfectant, Clorox, Lysol. They couldn't get
Mhm.
past that. But if instead of calling it a disinfectant, we call it an oxidizer,
It
then
is.
that opens a conversation. Well, what's an oxidizer? What are you talking about?
Yeah, that is true. But also you got to think of it this way, just because I know people think everything disinfect is all toxic and stuff like that, but nobody thinks about the word disinfect. That just means to release, get rid of an infection. So it could be any way from a natural thing to but just that word alone, people don't analyze it and go, oh, disinfect would mean a good thing. You can do it in a chemical way, but or you can do it in a natural way, but just disinfection alone is not a bad word, which everyone
No,
thinks it is.
absolutely, it's not. The problem is that, I mean, and it's not. I don't want to diss people, or particularly not individuals. It's the human brain. I mean, the human brain is naturally lazy. It's not going to keep, it's not going to question its own beliefs. It's going to hang on to its own beliefs. And what most people believe is disinfectants are poisons.
Exactly.
And they can't get beyond that. So so I would like to suggest that instead of using the word disinfectant, we use the word oxidizer, because that gets out of that trap.
Yeah, exactly. Good.
They're more likely to go and research what does oxidizer mean. They're more likely
Absolutely, yes. And there's tons of good information about oxidizers, because the chemical companies who sell it for water disinfection and air disinfection, room disinfection.
Another thing that scares people with the word oxidizers, they think, oh, it eats away at metals, so it's got to be strong and bad. That's another thing that scares a lot of people. It's an oxidation. It's an oxidative potential. It's very high. It can just destroy metal. So if it will destroy metals, it will destroy you, and that's not how it works. We know that.
So what about
it's like salt water? The ocean would eat you away if it was that bad, because it rusts metal, right?
Yeah, that's true. So what about something, is there a better term? What about something maybe therapeutic?
No, I think the thing is, people just have to get rid of their brainwashing, and they got to look into things and stop believing the mainstream media and even the science the pseudoscience that was taught to them, because science alone that they have learned is mostly wrong.
Yeah.
I was homeschooled. I don't have a degree in all this kind of stuff, but I like to research. I like to look into things, and I don't like to believe anything on the news or anything that, the whole world's saying. So, and whenever they say it, I look into it to make sure it's real also. So that's just, that's the thing. We don't want to pick on people and say, oh yeah, they're just, lazy. They don't want to look into it, but that's what it is. It comes down to that. They don't care about their own health. They want to be able to just pop a pill and then walk away.
Yeah. Right. So we can't just, given that is what we're dealing with in a lot of people, are there ways that we can get around that? Are there ways that we can approach them and incite their interest and encourage them, motivate them to look,
opening their eyes with testimonies and the proof that we've been doing. That's one of the ways that basically the only way we've been able to do this, to open their eyes, is to show the proof, show the testimonies. That's
baths. Okay. You don't have to drink it. We cured 4th stage cancers with just baths for little kids that couldn't drink it. And so the bath, but you need that's why you have to, learn how to prepare your own sodium chloride, because you use a lot of sodium chloride in baths. And so that's one of the ways people, that's not threatening. Oh, I don't have to drink it? No, you don't have to. You should, because you should hit it that way too. But if you're just opposed to drinking it, get in a bath. Use it topically.
there's both the direct and then the indirect exposure to all of our sacraments.
Yes, sir.
So, you know, I mean, you really don't have to force somebody literally to pour it down their throat. You know, I've helped people with shingles and various other things, you know, colon issues and diverticulitis and everything, just simply by getting them to do the bath protocol. And then, you know, just generally after a while, when they see that their skin increases and then their issues are starting to disappear, they start to think, okay, so yeah, this is working. Maybe I can take it in a cap or take it with something that, you know, I can handle the taste. So it's just like you keep saying, start low, go slow.
Yeah, that's why, you know, when we started this, we were starting, first of all, Jim had his malaria protocol. That's what we had. That's the only protocol that was, and then before we even met Jim, we started going, hey, why were we taking 15 drops, you know, 3 times a day? Why don't we take 1 a few times a day and see how that goes? And then when Jim came, we developed these protocols. And then we came up with a starting procedure. Instead of starting someone off that's sick with 3 drops an hour, that usually gives them, that can give them diarrhea or nausea, worst case ever. You know, that's like the worst side effect that you'll get. And then we go, why do that? Why don't we just start slow and work up and find their tolerance instead of hit their tolerance and then work our way down? You know, or that's what we were trying to figure out. And in the baths, they're incredible. You could just sit in there and your body absorbs through your skin so much. So it's just very important. Oh, it's pouring raining outside. It's very important that you do this little by little, and you introduce it to the person little by little, and that's the way it's gonna not scare them. Because I mean, you give anybody too much of anything, too much water can harm you. So you just have to work your way into it little by little, and that's why we did these protocols.
So maybe that's something that we should, or we could think about in terms of how to approach people is what's the least frightening use of chlorine dioxide. I mean, one thing that I've been thinking about is promoting it for use as in disinfecting office spaces. I actually talked to a company that they were struggling with this idea. We want to go back to work, but we don't know how to disinfect the space. And so I started telling them about chlorine dioxide. So if we promote it this way, promote things like baths, and because people are really, there's a lot of folks get stuck on the idea of drinking it. And that is scary to a lot of people. So, but you're absolutely right. There are other ways to get benefits from it.
Yeah, there's one thing that a lot of people, well, when they talk about chlorine dioxide, they said there have been deaths with chlorine dioxide, and what they're doing is they're looking at it wrong. That there's ingestion and there's inhalation. Chlorine dioxide at, I think it's like 50 parts per million per square cubic meter or something like that. There's so much in the air. If you have so much in the air for so much time of chlorine dioxide and you're breathing it in, it can harm you, yes. But we're never telling you to do that. We're telling you to ingest. It's like if you were to breathe in a bunch of water, what would happen? You would drown. So you have to look at it like they say, oh yeah, okay, people have died from chlorine dioxide, but they haven't died from chlorine dioxide ingestion. They might have possibly died from chlorine dioxide inhalation from an incredible amount of the gas. That's why when they gas the house with black molds, they tent it completely. It kills everything in there, and then they remove it, they freshen everything out, and you're good to go again. And that's what they do in the gymnasiums. When there's staph infection in the locker rooms and stuff, they gas the entire place. It kills all the infection, and you can't be in there. But it's
like an ozone machine does the same thing. It'll do the same thing, but you can't be in there while it's happening.
Yeah.
Hey, let me get a word in edgewise here, okay? Now, I've
came back from the beach.
I've often wondered, how do they get rid of human waste remains whenever they die in their house for months? How do you think they get it? I researched it and found out. It's chlorine dioxide. 48 hours. It's like it never happened.
Yeah. And you know, there's one airline I think it was at the beginning of this year or something. Tom sent it to me. The airline, their way of disinfecting people going in and on the plane was they would do a little mist of chlorine dioxide. And here in Latin America, they were doing the same thing in Ecuador. Ecuador. Oh, I'll tell you about that in a minute. But in Ecuador, they had these basically little tunnels that you had to walk through that would spray a 50 parts per million chlorine dioxide mist on you before you get on the public transport, and it would kill all the virus, like they say. It would just neutralize it, and then it would be disinfected. And so also another thing that I just heard was there was a jail down in Villavicencio, which is southern Colombia. There's 800 people there, and I think every single one of them was positive for COVID. Okay. And what did they do? They gave them chlorine dioxide, and they all got better.
Drank it.
They all got better. They even said it was on the news the other day here in Colombia. 800 people.
I love it. This is so cool. Yeah. The truth prevails.
My mother and father and my grandmother, they made
anecdotal evidence.
They made us brush our teeth with Clorox and bleach, and if you'll study about the effectiveness of actual pure bleach, people have been using it for 100 years, and that is a handed down remedy for diseases since the late 1800s, and it's came down from generation to generation.
Yep.
They didn't know why they told us, but their parents taught them to use it, and it actually don't hurt you.
It's good for burns. Clorox.
Yes.
They put it on burns.
Yeah. Well, that's why they tell you to purify water with it. But with the amount that they tell you and the amount that you have to use to actually purify your water is an amount that can cause stomach discomfort. And the reason why it's a little bit, the reason why it's a lot more toxic than chlorine dioxide, which isn't toxic anyway, is because it leaves the trimethyl
carcinogens.
Yeah, it's carcinogens, the THMs. So it leaves that behind, not like chlorine dioxide, which leaves absolutely nothing. And the thing is, CDS, I've been looking into this. I don't know if you know this either. CDS is chlorine dioxide. When it does its job, basically it did its job. That's it. It doesn't turn chlorine dioxide doesn't turn into salt afterwards because there's no sodium chlorite being made it from. Okay. When you activate drops, sodium chlorite and activator, when you mix that and you drink it, there is a little bit left over that turns into salt, chloride ion. Okay. So, but CDS, there's nothing left. All it is just that alone, oxygen and chlorine. But when you're activating it, there's other things, not other things, but there's a little bit of sodium chloride left over, which has a secondary reaction, which goes even further. And that's what we've noticed is what knocks out the malaria. We've tried it with the CDS and we didn't get the results. So they're doing the drops activated. So when people say it turns into salt afterwards, the drops do. CDS doesn't. CDS is just pure chlorine dioxide. It does its job, and that's it.
Right. It's a different chemical reaction.
Mm-hmm.
Guys, I just thought I'd pop in because I spoke to Gary. I wanted to wish you good luck, Mark, and everybody else with bringing this forward. We'll be doing some pretty strong prayers here for you guys. I just wanted to say
thank you,
good
man.
luck, guys, and you've got the backer,
the
creator behind you, mate. So,
amen.
I'll probably join the meeting. I'm really, really busy doing a lot of things, but and I look forward to joining a few more. But today I've got to go. I'm going to go and do a few things.
Have a good one, man. God bless you.
Thanks for coming on.
Creator's blessings to all of you.
Amen. Just be praying. That's our main battle weapon.
Right on.
Yeah.
Take care, everybody.
Hey, Pat, I want to thank you again for coming in and trying out our Zoom room, and you come anytime. Okay, anytime.
Not a problem. No worries, Bishop Max. You take care too. Creator's blessings. I'll see you all later.
Bye.
Now, if anybody wants to ask questions to the Grenon, to Mark and Joe, now good time. If you have any questions for them, you know, try not to get personal with them, like what kind of hair coloring Joe in his beard. But yeah.
Look at this. This is black. The more it's getting blacker, I think it's gonna just kind of go all the way. Joe, look at it. It's all black.
He's gonna go back like me.
The floor is up here for a few questions. So go ahead and let her fly one at a time.
Joseph and Mark, I'm in Scotland. I was the guy who was meant to be coming in February to your seminar in Colombia, but I couldn't make it because the flights were expensive. And
okay, yeah.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, I remember that. We had a good time. I think we had what, 10 people?
Yeah. Overall, yeah, about 10 people we had come in.
Did it in my house. We did it in my bedroom.
Wish you could have made it, man. But either way, now we're in contact and we'll help you with what we can.
I did get the video course, and I've got my. I'm a member of the church, but I'm not obviously got my health minister yet. But yeah.
Where's Mark's book? I don't see Mark on your shelf.
Yeah, I don't have Mark's book. I'm sorry, Mark.
Well, we don't have them either.
Yeah, we don't have any more either. Except here, they took them all. That blows my mind. They took them all. Listen what they left. They busted the safe, whipped them open. They left the guns because they're illegal. So they uphold the Second Amendment and destroyed the First.
Yeah.
I mean, that's crazy.
All right, Juno. Any more questions? You're talking to Juno.
No, it's fine. Just thank you guys for so much for. I discovered it last October. I had a friend who was sick with ALS, and it's the most. I don't know if you've ever seen anybody with ALS, but it's the most horrific thing. And I mentioned to them about my discovery and that, but they just don't want it. They can't get it in their head to try it. It's like just. So I'm just okay. I had to hold my hands up and say, I've asked you 3 or 4 times, to look at it, but they just don't want to know it.
Juno, where's your mama at? She was in here earlier. Is she there?
Yeah, it's actually getting towards that time where I should be making her dinner, so I'll do that soon.
Yeah. Okay, so get her to say hi, if you will. Let us see her. She takes MMS as well, and she's almost 90, right?
Well, she's 80. She's the same age as Jim, basically, and I did spray it on her leg. She had problems on her leg, but this is also another great thing. It's not related to your guys' stuff, but it's an electronic device that was used by the Russian cosmonauts, and it actually you rub it on where there's pain in the body, and it takes pain away. It's just incredible to see.
Right.
Yeah. Amen. There's so many good things out there. You just can't use these good things all together. That's just separate them. There's a lot of good things. So we tell people all the time, man, moringa's great. I mean, raw milk is great, but don't be drinking it during the protocol.
Yeah. And even if you could not get any of our sacraments whatsoever, and you went from completely changing your diet, completely getting away from any kind of toxin, changing your deodorant, changing your toothpaste, completely a life change, a complete switch. If you did that, you're going to see results, because what you're doing gave you what you have. So stop doing what you're doing and do something else. That's how you have to look at it. The MMS is just a cleaner. It helps clean the body so the body can heal itself. And so if you're not intoxicating your body's going to be okay.
So now if you say healing, the body heals itself. The FDA wants you to get approval. The body needs to get approval to heal itself.
Well, let me tell you my story about what I think about the body healing itself, okay?
Okay, tell us.
You guys can see my arm, right? Now imagine me getting a scratch or a cut on my arm. As long as I keep it clean and I cover it so that germs can't get in it, the body will heal itself.
Amen. But you need approval to do that. You can't do that.
Oh yeah, you don't have FDA approval of a scab, because a scab is the same exact thing. It just closes it so it can heal itself, right, and that's it. So now we need FDA approval for scabs.
The body's scab. You can't do that. Water heals thirst. So now we need The water is going to need approval to be able to heal thirst.
Right. Any more questions from the, what do you call it? The peanut gallery.
Yeah.
Mark, so you told us earlier that you are not being extradited. Is that correct?
Well, no. Well, we just said there's no order. They checked it. They lied to you all the time to try to scare you. So the Department of Justice said, and when they were in Florida, they told my sons, we're going to get your dad, going to extradite him. So I said, don't extradite me. I'll come to you. I'm not afraid of you. And yeah, you might throw me in jail because you have the ability to, but we're not going to, you're proving your innocence by coming. I'm coming. You didn't have to even come get me. I called the U.S. Marshal, said, I'm coming to you. So we're taking
I should call the U.S. Embassy and ask them, hey, is there an extradition for me and my father?
Well, they did. That's what the person just said. There's none.
No, that's what I should call him and ask him, hey, listen, am I going to be extradited? I want to know because it's my name. You can't tell me yes or no. I mean, you can't tell me, I can't tell you if you have it or not because it's me that they're going to, pull out of the country. So I should call them and ask them because they have an emergency line for American citizens.
Yeah. I called them the other day. Yeah.
This is my suggestion to you, Joseph. Have the Zoom room open and put her on speaker and do it live in the Zoom.
Yeah, record it too. Yeah, exactly.
If we go to court, we're going to ask for a Sixth Amendment right to a trial by jury of our peers. Okay. If we do that, I'm also going to ask for the media to be there. I want them. I want them to hear what we're saying to the jury.
And all you guys, we'll get you in on Zoom too.
That's exactly right. Yeah, sure.
And they're scared.
I'm close enough to be a witness for you. I'll tell them a mouthful.
We asked people the other day while I was on Mike Adams. I think it was. Listen, I said, is anybody in Florida? Start picketing. Start going in front of the Justice Department. Go to where the kids are and start picketing. Free the Grenons or G2 Church or just right to choose our own health method. And that makes the news. 20, 30, 40 people, free the Grenons, those kind of things get in the news. Why are people doing this? Why are people doing this? Maybe set up one of those, what do they call in Seattle? That zone, what do they call it?
Chap or Chaz?
Yeah, let's set up one of them. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
Well, I haven't used any medicines from other than MMS, DMSO, and the other sacraments for years, at least 4 or 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
Not even a Tylenol.
13 for us. 13 years.
Yesterday, I dislocated my shoulder and I had to pick up my arm with my other hand because it wouldn't work. Well, today it's working, and I used an Aztec Clay MMS DMS old protocol salve. Put it on there, took out the heat and the pain, and I'm good to go. One day.
So cool.
Mm-hmm.
That's so cool.
Mm-hmm.
That's so cool. There's another way to do it too. You lay in a bed and put a weight on it and let it pull it back in place. That can do it. Hurts at first, but it'll pull it out and it'll then slide back in. Because I had to do that before with the people, before I knew about MMS. People forget, for 20 years, I was working in surgery. When we got MRSA, we had a pharmaceutical, big room. All these doctors coming. We had everything. Nothing worked. So this is when I found MMS, and they're saying, "Oh, you're against the medical." No, I was working with them. I'm not against the medical. I'm for what we do.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we need the medical to sew us up, to fix a bone, to get an MRI, to get some blood work. You know what I mean? We need to be able to combine.
Watch the MRI. Watch that, and watch the one where they inject you with the chemicals too. Those aren't good at all. X-ray.
Well, DMSO actually helps against radiation and X-ray.
I didn't know that. Did you know that?
Yeah. They use it in people that have been treated for radiation poisoning, and you can actually paint it onto your skin, and it will stop the X-rays and the radiation from damaging your cells.
Cool. I know they take all the organs they're gonna transplant and immerse it in DMSO. So we go, oh, it's bad for your liver. They put livers in DMSO, carry it to a person,
Right.
and you know, it's crazy.
Yeah. Well, the thing is the only reason it's hard on the livers because most livers that people have are not healthy to begin with.
Right.
So
That's another good topic. The liver flush, when we have people here and they really heal slow, after 2 weeks, they do the liver flush and the whole healing accelerates.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Yeah, I've done probably about 4 or 5 liver flushes in the past 2 years. First time I did it, I didn't have any stones, so I was okay. Well, I'll try it again. Every other time I did it, I probably had at least 50 to 150 stones, 200 stones, from little to big, to the little white cholesterol. I mean, the little white calcium buildup, and then the big green cholesterol balls that come out from the gallbladder. So I mean, it's incredible, and you feel. I think I lost like 7 pounds over the 24 hours that I was doing the initial flush. And that's from not eating and from washing myself out. And I mean, your energy level goes up so much. It's incredible.
Oh, absolutely. Your liver works properly. It keeps you hopping.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'm
You
actually,
can't live without your liver.
It all comes down to, eat half, be active more, and love. Those are 3 ingredients, right?
Mm-hmm.
Actually, in the middle of doing the liver flush just now, I've been taking the malic acid and the apple juice. Just to eat less apples. I've bought some malic acid, so putting that into
Accelerate, break it down. Okay.
But the most disgusting thing I've ever tasted is that Epsom salts. That is just.
Oh yeah,
I hate
Epsom
that.
salts, the salt, magnesium sulfate.
Hey, we found a trick. What did we put in it, Joe?
Oh, okay. Whenever you're gonna do that doses, you have to squeeze your grapefruit juice out. Make your big thing of grapefruit juice. Make sure you save enough for your final flush. But every time you make your Epsom salt mix, go ahead and pour about maybe 30 mil, maybe an ounce of the grapefruit juice in there. And it basically takes away the metallic feeling and it gives a little acidic taste and you can handle it much more. And it's still the same effect.
Okay.
Right.
Now, I don't know if there's any truth behind it, but we still use the citric acid in some of the sacraments, or people still use that. And I read an article somewhere about citric acid is synthetically produced, and some of it actually comes from black mold.
Yes, that's how they do it. Yeah, and GMO corn.
And GMO corn's also. Yeah.
So no
But
wonder,
I think what they do is they let the corn putrefy and become black mold, and then they use to make it from that. I'm pretty sure that's what the process is.
We stopped using it when we started. When we stopped using CDS, we started using HCl, so the taste factor wasn't there anymore with the citric acid, and we started slower, so really no taste. It one drop, and half a glass of water. I don't see why people complain about that.
Yeah.
They'll drink some vodka, and that's okay, but they won't drink.
Yeah, and if you're still using citric acid, you're still producing chlorine dioxide.
Yeah.
You're acidifying sodium chloride. You're producing it. You might have a little bit of citric acid left over, and I personally, what I do with the citric acid, if I have a bunch of it sitting aside, I'll make a big thing of CDS and just use it for that. But if you're using, 1-to-1, one MMS and one citric acid at a 30 to 50%, it's not gonna change too much. It's not gonna give you diarrhea. It's not when you're doing 1 to 5 because it's a low citric acid, or you're doing big doses with the citric acid, it can cause a little stomach discomfort. But there's definitely no damage going to be done. It might just give you diarrhea.
I like the use of the HCl because most of us suffer from most people in the world have that hypochlorhydria.
Yep. Lack of stomach acid.
Yeah. And also H. pylori. H. pylori. Yeah.
I think citric acid irritates that more than obviously that's the stomach acid.
Everything because it's
well, the chlorine dioxide, what it does is it completely diffuses right through the membrane of the stomach and goes right in, and that's why it can get all the way into the H. pylori and actually kill it, because the stomach acid doesn't touch it. It survives in stomach acid because that's where, and then it burrows through the mucous membrane that's protecting the stomach lining, the actual stomach from the acid. So the chlorine dioxide just diffuses right through it. And that's what I was saying earlier is you don't need red blood cells to transfer oxygen with this. It just goes right through things.
Yeah.
It's so small. We measured it. We did the measurement on it.
125.
It's 124. Almost the exact weight that the sodium chloride, thing. They're called picometers. It's so tiny compared to a red blood cell. Red blood cells, you can see them under the microscope. You cannot see chlorine dioxide. You cannot see it at all.
Well, supercomputer.
Yeah. So I got a microscope, and I've been doing things like that.
That's why it can go
too.
through the blood-brain barrier so easy.
Mm-hmm. And that's why it can go. That's why it bonds to DMSO. It bonds to that, and it can just be carried right through anything.
Yeah. Now I have a friend of mine that gets what's called RCVS headaches, and it's a vascular headache, which they also call them thunderclaps, and you require hospitalization and painkillers when that happens. And I've been getting her. I said, when you get that feeling coming on, it's the constriction of the blood vessels to the brain. I said, hey, just take yourself. And what I've got her to doing, because she doesn't like to drink it yet, but anyways, is just doing like a 4 and 4 or a 6 and 6. And it or put a little DMSO on the areas that are affected, and it stops her from ending up in emergency and whatnot.
Yeah. DMSO dilates everything from the nervous system to your veins, to your basically even to your electronic impulses. It dilates everything so everything can flow again. Personally, my niece, she suffered from epileptic attacks, constantly. And one time I was traveling, this was about 6 years ago, my wife was taking care of the girl, and she started having an epileptic attack. And right away I told her, I said, get 10 to 15 drops of DMSO, put it in a half a glass of water, or even, in less. And she was having the attack, her tongue was back and everything, and just pour it in their mouth, pour it in their mouth, pour it on their face. It will go in and it will start dilating. And she stopped, and then she continued doing the MMS throughout the years and stuff. But since then, she has never had an attack. Just from that one time she did the DMSO, it stopped it.
Amazing.
Let me say this about it. I think it's in my books and stuff, but it will stop a heart attack, stop a stroke. If you take 15 drops to 20 in water, take it every 15 minutes, stop a heart attack, stop a stroke.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
That's in this
book. And we're not allowed to do that, right? We can't.
No, we got to get permission from the FDA.
Yeah, I'm gonna take off in a few minutes if you guys have
I
another
only
question
slept
or so.
3 hours last night, so I'm yawning, and I'm trying to monitor things coming in because I'm really waiting for this lawyer in Tampa to get back with us, because that's what I really need to get back to. But anyway,
could you share with us a bit your experience in Colombia, how the government treats you, and how much success you've had working with people there?
Well, basically, we've been here for about 7-8 years now, and we haven't had any interruption or any interference or contact with the government against what we do, because here in Latin America, here in Colombia, they're more open to natural remedies. That the indigenous people, they still use plants and stuff for curing, and so they haven't really attacked us. And also, as a church, they might be more respectful in that way. But we've been healing people. I've been sending it around the country for the past few years. I've been taking donations. Don't sell anything. Absolutely.
You have 30 doctors.
Yeah, there's about 30 doctors overall here in Colombia that are using it. And like I said yesterday on the radio station, the guy was saying how corrupt he's a doctor himself in another part of Colombia. He was saying how corrupt the system is. He was talking about COVID and what their process is. They're basically giving people anti-inflammatories to bring down the inflammation in in the lungs, and then something else. And what he said in the end, he was the one who mentioned that they used chlorine dioxide for the 800 prisoners and got them all cured. But he said that in Ecuador, what happened? Thousands of people got sick and died. And then what happened after that? Now there's no deaths. They all created immunity and there's no deaths anymore.
And
he
they
said
have 5G in the same city.
Yeah, Guayaquil was the first city in this area of South America that implemented 5G. That's just a whole nother story. I won't even get into that
the
right
5G
now.
in Ecuador.
We can go on that one for a long time. Yeah.
But just to mention really quick, Wuhan 5G, cruise ships 5G, Northern Italy 5G, and it took off like crazy.
Not saying there isn't a virus. There is something that's hurting,
something artificial,
but there's also other things that are causing probably the same exact symptoms, because the 5G, the radiation, it causes the cells to be intoxicated, and they release these exosomes, and these exosomes are viruses made by your own cell to release toxins. So I mean, and that's what happens when you get cellular toxicity, and that is caused by radiation at that potential, and that it causes the same exact symptoms of shortness of breath, not being able, or what is it called, hypoxia, lack of oxygen. And so by doing that, the people are fainting, they're falling over, and this is what was happening in these major places. In Wuhan, people were just dropping, and it wasn't, I can't say 100%, but I can't say that it was just the 5G or it was just the virus, but something was doing it to where they were just dropping, falling, fainting.
No one has isolated a virus. There's no virus that's been isolated. Ever. So we know it was made artificially in a laboratory. And these guys are evil geniuses. You know, Bill Gates, Gallo, Fauci,
yeah. And there was just the other day, Japan said that they, let me see exactly how they said it. They said that this virus is not possible that it could have been that it's natural, because a natural virus will come and go, and this thing is staying and it's surviving in every kind of climate. Yeah. And for a virus to survive in every type of climate, from ice cold down to very, very, or all the way up to very, very hot, it has to be manipulated. It has to be able to withstand that. And a natural virus are selective in areas and around the world.
Right. That's why I say summertime comes, it's killed.
Exactly.
You know, the flu virus.
It's flu season. We're going through flu season. You can have a bunch of positives. It's going to stop for a little while. When we go into the second wave, like they're talking about, it's just another flu season that people are going to show up positive for something.
Listen, everybody, I got to go because I got something I got to do. And then right after that, I'm going to go sleep for about 4 hours so I can get this document together. Yeah. But I don't know if we'll be back on soon, but this is my prayer asking you to do, that when I send this to the lawyer, and she has to accept it now by email. The judge, yeah. Then that she'll have enough information and go, oh man, I have to make a judgment here and let the kids out, and we get there if we do go. And she might even say no more warrant, and we'll come in September when they open up the airlines. They said they're not going to have any flights in Colombia till September 1st, domestically or internationally.
Yeah, other than humanitarian and all that kind of stuff.
Or criminals.
Yeah, exactly.
Joe, you're a criminal. Look at you. They got a picture of John. He's like this. You know, they probably just got done sneezing or something. You know, and they get the worst pictures of us. If we get that milk shot, I want to be smiling. I mean, it's just all the time.
Well, hey, it was having you both in the room today, and we all appreciate that. It's going to help everybody. But just know that this room is like a tag team. If I'm the host right now, if I leave, I can assign whoever's the co-host, I can assign them as host, and it'll keep going forever. As long as we can get.
Good. As long as they allow it, right?
Shabbat shalom to everybody.
Yeah.
God bless everyone.
Take care.
Take care.
God bless.
Blessings to your family as well.
Good to see y'all.
Thank you. Take care.
Tell them we said hi. Yeah, thanks.
Well, that was pretty good, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to stop the recording at this point, okay?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's now we're still live, but I can stop that as well. Hold on. Yeah, stop the cloud and then I'm going to stop the live meeting,